Delivering. Delivering dogfish. Delivering dogfish. I'm the dude.
One minute, dude.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fight!
What's up, guys?
61st.
There we go.
Passing through that special 1111 portal to the other side. I think this is where all dogs go to heaven because it is also the Vets Day. So shout out to all the brave vets who see all kinds of animals in action and out of action and bring them back to a working condition.
That would be a good day to actually celebrate. But veterans, well, I don't know. Any more veterinarians are about fucking worthless, but
Well, because they're all bought out by like two massive corporations that own like something like 70, almost 80% of all veterinary clinics now. So they're all being done based on a spreadsheet and whatever a performance and efficiency algorithm tells them they should do for their business. It's not even like people anymore.
Just like QuickBooks telling you how to bill people.
Well, and then you got California fucking passing bills that make it so people can't do any of the treatments anymore. And I do understand that some of that is that in California, an odd number of people take veterinary medicine and use it on themselves. I get that. But the fact is, growing up and even here in California recently, until they started really getting strict with the laws, the vets would just give us stuff. Like I had an alpaca break a leg just recently. Yeah. Well, I couldn't afford all the vets around me closed down. The guy who was the vet for this area retired, and before he retired, he could not find anybody to take over his spot. So there is no vet. And that means I'm hauling the alpacas 4 hours to try and get them one way to try and get them any kind of a treatment before paying, thousands of dollars to have that done. And so, the way things used to be, if you're a farmer, half the time farmers know as much as vets about what's going on with their animals.
Yeah.
And the vet would come up and they would just talk to you about it and what's going on. And then they would give you whatever. Obviously, I'm perfectly capable of injecting things into the animal, whether it's in the meat or under the skin, the subcutaneous or whatever it needs to be. I'm perfectly capable of doing all of them. For the broken leg, we went in and got some good gauze and some good padding. And then what I did was I cut a channel down some PVC and I left like a little end on it. And we just fucking gauzed her leg up and used that PVC as like a splint and then wrapped over top of it so it can't move. And then that little end is sticking out so she's not stomping on that broken leg. And that's the end of that. Went and set the leg ourselves and away we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the veterinary, not the vets that today is. Today is Veterans Day, not veterinarian.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. It is.
Well, no, I mean, for me, it's the day after
the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, being a Midwesterner and going to the Big Lake Superior, not knowing the dangers of shipping and handling.
The Big Lake they call Gitchagumi.
I don't even
Yes.
understand how they can call the actual Great Lakes like Superior Lakes. That doesn't even make sense to me.
I forgot in our production meeting, I was going to say we need to change our names on the display to either Carl D. Bradley, Daniel J. Morrill, or Edmund Fitzgerald. And I didn't know if we wanted to just randomly assign or fight for names in honor of these brave men who let their names be used as ships that were lost at sea. It's not really a sea, it's a freshwater lake, but it's a great lake nonetheless. All of these.
Yeah, you can't see the other fucking side. You can't see the other side. It's horrible.
I nominate Marcus to be Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah, there's a road that goes across a very narrow part of Lake Erie. And I tried driving across that with Christy.
Yeah, that's the spookiest lake.
Yeah, and it's like this little fucking road that's floating on top of the fucking lake. And I started driving onto it, and everything inside me said, "Nope, not doing this shit." And I pulled over, and Christy fucking had to drive us across the lake, and I just laid down. I was like, "Nope."
What was that the problem? The water froze?
No, the water was not froze.
There
If
was
it
a
was
storm.
froze, that would have probably been even worse.
Okay.
I fell through the ice and almost drowned, and I'm not a fan of fucking that kind of shit. Not a fan at all.
There's a guy who survived the 1953 wreck of the SS Henry Steinbrenner in Lake Superior, who was a watchman on board the SS Daniel J. Morrill, who also had some difficulty.
Some of those are really supposed to be treasure laden also.
Oh, what is the depth of some of these Great Lakes?
Crazy deep.
Way deeper than the ocean around here.
So,
Crazy deep.
I mean, I'm just going through the basic Wikipedia here because that's, the easiest available information thing. But this one is called Queen of the Lakes, and I think that's offensive to SS Daniel J. Morrill. I don't know if it's appropriate to assume the proclivities of the ships to be the Queen of the Great Lake. And many of these ships were named after business owners. Gender? Well, yeah, assuming the gender, but I thought that all ships were feminine.
I think so.
Why the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Well, it had the meme-worthy song.
Darth Magoo 420. I love that name. That's a great name.
What's happening, Jason? What's happening to everybody else? The what now? Hoo-ha?
We're talking the hoo-ha of the ship.
No.
You that night that we did like open panels, Lily came up and entertained.
Oh, right on.
She said
Lily's red.
But you left, so then afterwards she said you kind of suck and we were way better anyway. So
It's true. It's true. It's true.
She didn't say that, but she thought it out loud.
She keeps turning up to the events and meetups though, so we must be doing something right.
Well, and the funny thing is that you know Sean Alger, our other buddy, that me and Sean Alger and Marcus and Jim were basically the main crew of the Weaving Spiders.
Yeah.
Sean Alger's wife's name is Lily.
Okay.
So that's when she first popped up on the screen. We thought actually it was Sean. Under his wife's thing.
It is a small world after all.
And then it turned out to be a different Lily who was very fun to talk to. We don't know what that weird part where she kept saying that we're much better than you was. We don't know what was provoking all that, but I mean, she was gratuitous with it,
Well, I strive to be an equal opportunity streamer.
But yeah, I only ever know that it's Veterans Day. That it's one of the only days I don't accidentally go into town and try and fucking get supplies on a holiday and then look around town and be like, why is everything closed?
Oh,
But that's because in the morning, my mom every year says, "Thank you for your service," and posts it on my Facebook. So I'll open it up and I'm like, "Today's Veterans Day."
oh, so
Right.
small businesses are all closed, taking the day off to restock.
A
Yeah,
lot
a
of them
lot.
do stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when they roll their gas station sushis?
Yeah.
It prevents the kids who don't have school from coming in and stealing shit.
Lily, it's still on. It's still on video. All Steve has to do is go back and see how you were talking about how handsome we were and how goofy looking he is, and we understand. It's recorded. You can't take it back.
I get that Ben's ego is very fragile, and he needs to hear someone at least once a day tell him that he's still a handsome boy.
My
so
mom
he's
doesn't call me
fishing.
that often.
He's fishing
anymore.
for compliments here, and that's okay. It's all right. It is, but it's also very transparent. So, oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Oh shit! So they the Democrats cross the line and they're gonna reopen the government, huh?
I guess.
Maybe so
I don't
long
know.
as so long as you
fucking-
can't buy things at gas stations, I guess.
They could have just kept it shut down and grounded all the freaking stratospheric aerosol injection planes permanently. I liked having clear skies there for a couple of weeks.
Seriously, the guy I sold the headgate to said that to me in the parking lot. He's like, fucking, he started talking about, well, the government shut down. It's been awesome not having these chemtrails. Like, and this is just some old farm ass. I'm like, I reckon.
Yeah. And you're like, you are correct, sir.
Yeah.
Information is spreading.
Let's see. It won't have audio, but it doesn't need it. We started section or topic or whatever in the AM Wake Up Telegram group for sky pictures and stuff like that. We were walking. I guess maybe it will if I can. Oh, god damn it!
Did you put the one with the video? Tony Coriolis. Did you put the video of us from the one with the black chemtrail and that fucking they covered up?
I haven't done that, but I should go back and download it and do that.
Steve, the first time Steve and I ever met, we were standing there and a big jet came by, laid a giant black chemtrail, and then two jets came by, laid white chemtrails right underneath it, and the white trails went and spread out and made it so you couldn't see that black one anymore. Steve and I sat there and watched the whole thing the very first time we met, and we got video of it.
Yup.
Will they send you a message? Was it some sort of skywriting?
No, they went and covered it. They went and covered it up behind it. So this is my girl took this from like the panorama thing on the phone. But this is horizon to horizon.
It's nice that they did it in a rainbow.
Right? Right.
That's nice. It's more artistic that way.
Right?
The horizon.
And then this was
I can't be funny if you're going to sit there and do that.
this was the other direction. Right?
I always like the X's.
Yeah. And then this was the Safeway parking lot later that day.
That's where it's spreading out.
Well, this makes it really difficult to see that comment to 3i Atlas if they're just clouding the skies. Did they get a radio signal sent to it or received from it yet?
Remember, it was
Uh-huh.
there was a signal that bounced back that was way more powerful than the one that SETI picked up or whatever.
Yeah, did Sitchin write about that in his 12th
Well,
book?
you know what? If SETI, if the SETI guys did better mushrooms, they'd get stronger signals.
It's true. It's true. Also, if they'd stop letting idiots like Jodie Foster screw everything up looking for her stupid dad,
It
that
was a
would
very emotional experience.
probably help out the discovering aliens thing. But freaking,
It was like the quaternion. When we learned about the science of melting cheese, we had the guest on, and he was explaining his emissions theory, sort of a heartfelt emissions theory. He was telling us about the quaternion. We could never quite pronounce it correctly, but reading it, it all made sense. And this is sort of this 3-axis gimbal thing,
You want to pull that one up, Steve?
sort of the building blocks of life. And that's kind of what
what am I pulling up?
It's off the telegrams. I put it in the telegrams.
Oh,
So what Jodie Foster was kind of placed in the movie, where they spun her all around, and then she got really dizzy, and then she had a experience of some kind.
That was a disturbing fucking movie.
Yeah, it was a good one. I wish they would make more movies like that.
it won't have commentary because it won't play audio from Telegram. But
I don't even remember what we were saying during it.
there we go, and there we go.
Yeah, this video is from the first time Steve and I hung out in person, and
So you can see the black behind it, right? And
Wow, they
then,
added a drop shadow to it.
yeah, the shadows above it. How clever!
Really makes the
Yeah,
white
you can
line
see.
stand
Look,
out.
if you back up the video for just a second, you can see where it doesn't even completely follow the line. See how the black line swerves out to the right here, and you can see how it's 2 lines. It's actually 2 lines that they're using to cover up the black one, because it was actually 2 jets that went by and covered that fucking covered that black streak up.
Yep.
See how they missed it right here?
Are they just skywriting for the Nephilim to return, just like sending them messages? Is it a giant QR code they want the Nephilim to scan?
Maybe.
That was such a weird weekend, because we literally got dropped on by the fucking black helicopter that weekend too. We're all sitting there next to a campfire, just having drinks and goofing around, and sure as fuck, we're all of a sudden a fucking black helicopter drops right over us, drops down to where we could like count their teeth and shit,
Mhm.
and it sat there and stared at us, guns sitting there, a whole 9. We're like, Jesus, is this happening right now? Hey, kid, are we about to be the newest members of Guantanamo?
Right.
They closed the alligator Alcatraz for the season, so it probably would have been Guantanamo.
Nephilim are definitely giant cucks. Tony Coriolis has it right.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why it's got to be black. We did not choose. We thought maybe it should have been rainbow colored, is what Steve and I were thinking.
This was earlier today on a walk with Gomez.
I've seen this. Things come riding out of that.
Right? Right? Just waiting for shit to come through that little swirling vortex.
Yeah. Yeah, something you need a flying horse or something like that to come out of that, and then bring the apocalypse. That's what that's for. It made the helicopter bigger.
It's quite
Oh yeah,
interesting.
this one was fun too. This was a couple of days ago. Where are you? There you are.
I do like this sort of X-Files conspiracy theory. sort of content.
Analog Lime says there's intense northern lights this evening in southern Colorado, which is very far south. Colorado, sharing a border with New Mexico and shit. And only ever saw it in the light in the Boundary Waters, which is the northern Minnesota, where all the lakes are basically interconnected. Yeah.
Do you remember when the last time they're going around, they were seeing them in Georgia and Texas and shit like that?
We saw it here at the house. We saw them here at the house in California. Like, it's not like it is up north. Like up north, when we went and visited my kids last year, it was wild. I mean, all the colors. I've got a ton of them. I've got some really cool ass pictures where, like, I got one with, this one is awesome here. Pull this one up. That one's super awesome.
Does it sometimes look like there's a big light object in the sky? It kind of looks like a sunset, but it's in the north.
No. If you see northern lights,
right? But I'm asking, what does it look like lately?
Yeah.
So this is my daughter and my granddaughter dancing in the front of the northern lights. Pretty awesome. Yeah.
So there's a warm color and a cool color.
Yeah, and there's a blue also and a purple.
Did you get any pictures, Analog Lime?
But that picture I took's from northern South Dakota, so I mean you're way up there.
Yeah.
Like on the North Dakota border. So like basically the opposite of what they're talking about with southern Colorado. Like when I was a kid, the northern lights was common, but it was only ever the blues and the greens. It didn't get the pinks and the purples and all this. So it's pretty intense up there seeing it now.
Is this evidence of an impending pole shift?
It's that has reached the mainstream. My fucking dad was talking about it. Dad all of a sudden starts talking to me about the pole shift, and I'm like, really?
I've been getting messages asking us to look into the disaster cycles and, the pole shift and whatever that could mean.
Have you ever grabbed a frog, Analog Lime, and shook it and then had it spray your face before you watched the northern lights? I heard it makes them better.
Only in the summertime. The atrazine frogs.
Fucking the DMT frog. I actually have a friend that got sprayed in the face by accident. His dog was going off on it, and he went over and leaned down, and it hosed him.
Hosed him right down.
Well, if you look, the further north you get, the more, like, we've even got pictures where it starts looking like animated creatures and things like that in the sky. Like it starts and it moves. It's not static. If you've never seen it up north, it's not just like the sky turns a color. Like it actually moves and waves, and it's got ripples in it, and it looks very much alive. Same thing with the eclipse. You assume that an eclipse is just basically going to be a hard dark barrier that starts pushing from one side to the other, but it wasn't. It's very vaporous, like goes forward and comes back, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, no, they're cool. They are. I've watched a couple through welders' masks.
I performed a wedding ceremony for some friends of ours. Jim, the other guy that comes on the show, and his wife during the full moon eclipse.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was super awesome to watch. Billingtano, what's up, brother? And it does look like colors you'd see on an acid trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's consciousness expansion for
Or
children.
take more than a heroic dose of mushrooms.
Right. Right.
You start getting into that 6 and 7 grams, the sky starts looking pretty spectacular.
Like a tie-dye at a freaking jam band show.
Yeah, yeah.
And we used to have a much more colorful America. McDonald's had play places, Burger King had their kids club, and everything was sort of colorful. And Taco Bell had some really nice colors too, but now everything's sort of this corporate black and silver and concrete squares.
Squared, very squared.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Yep.
Yeah. The brutalist designs.
And I would agree that the stars look liquid, but I would say that it looks like if you've ever seen a cavitation inside liquid, that's what it looks like to me, is cavitation inside of liquid. Yeah. So you can believe that we live inside a black hole. Like, that seems kind of actually legitimate. Cutest, you stop. That I imagine, because that's what creates the cavitation in nature. And cavitation creates basically an explosion. Fucking all the shit happens.
It's like the vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. Something has to take and fill the place. I wanted to kind of not get too political tonight, but everything seems to be really, really political. And with, the people in government having a little bit of a vacation, or I don't know, what do they do? Do they shut down? Do they just collect a paycheck and stay home, work from home?
Yeah, it doesn't cost us any less. That's for
They write their speeches in their autobiographies, that sort of thing.
Right.
But the idea that Trump is acting as sort of a chaos agent a little bit, where I don't know if there's been many Q drops lately or any sort of alternate reality games to sort of chase after. So I took this scrap and kind of ran with it. The idea that the Resolute desk has been removed from the White House office. Now it's okay. Apparently the president has a choice of different desks.
Is that a true thing?
Again, we need to do further
the
research.
Resolute desk get removed?
Again, this is just people on social media recognizing that there's a version of the desk which seems to be a replica in pictures at Mar-a-Lago. So this being a famous desk, there have been replicas made for like movie sets and things, and for museums, so museum quality replicas.
It even has the dents underneath the middle drawer from Monica Lewinsky's head.
Those are, how you
very
know it's
accurate
authentic.
Replicas of the Resolute desk. High dollar, but
Right,
attention
right.
to detail is impeccable.
Well, there was kind of some concern from people who are not a fan of the current administration and the insurrectioning of the reconstruction of whatever they're doing there. They're tearing some walls down. They're putting in a ballroom, planning for a wedding party or something. Peace in the Middle East. So people were really upset that he was maybe looting and plundering, White House artifacts and lootering them to Mar-a-Lagos. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Retitling tonight's episode on Rumble to lootering.
Yeah. I actually, I'm gonna have to join you on that. It's definitely got to be retitled to lootering.
Yeah.
So
It did.
then that reminded me of a conversation we had with Michelle Gibson on Weaving Spiders, so many moons ago, where she was getting into the history of this desk, and the wood from this desk was from a ship. The ship itself
Bubba,
is called
you
the
fucker.
HMS Resolute. So it was a British Arctic exploration ship, up there in the Arctic Circle, the HMS Resolute, Her Majesty's Service or His Majesty's Service, a British ship made of wood. Now, when it was frozen in the ice and they thought they lost and they abandoned it, they eventually
God
found
damn
it.
Bubba. You son of a bitch.
Bubba, we're learning. We're learning about wood and where wood comes
There
from.
you are. Come here.
So this,
Got
At
himself
least
in
Gomez
trouble.
went to the front. Bubba just totally wedged his way in behind me.
Oh,
Yeah, I have a chair arm, so he can't. He's blocked. Hi, buddy. Hi.
Bubba's way taller than everybody
Yeah.
else.
Why do you smell like syrup, Gomez?
maple syrup?
He does.
Occam's razor would state that Gomez has found some syrup somewhere.
So I don't know what they were
Probably
eating
why
on
you
these
got Kicked out of the
ships.
kitchen. Get up off me, dude. You're shaking the whole
Does
freaking.
Gomez or Bubba look like Bubba? That would be funny if my Bubba and your brother's dog Bubba look alike.
Get out.
There's Bubba's. Brian wanted to name him Dickface McGillicuddy.
Does it respond to Dickface McGillicuddy?
when he's not eating.
You know what? If I stand up, he responds. Earlier, they were Christy and Brian were laughing because he literally he has no sense of space. So Freya was sleeping in my dad's chair, and so Bubba was laying across the top of her, but couldn't quite fit. So he was upside down and had his head on the seat of the chair and his body like up and twisted around Freya. And they wanted me to look at it because it was hilarious. And as soon as I stood up, Bubba woke up out of a dead sleep and jumped up and like ready to go. He does not. He has like an alarm for any movement that I make inside of him somewhere. And if I move, he's attent and alert.
Gomez was like that with me, but it's opposite now. And so I can, get up stupid o'clock in the morning and go start doing show prep and stuff like that. The moment my girl sits up or her feet hit the floor, he's like, boom, right there. It's just wide awake. Like, okay, what are we doing? She's like, I'm not taking you anywhere, fucker. I know what you're talking about. And then, yeah, she'll open the bedroom door and he'll come tearing ass into the living room where I'm sitting working, and he will fling himself up onto the couch next to me.
So here is my X-Files conspiracy theory. We know that Dick Cheney recently departed, and I think that they
His
took
name also should have been Dickface McGillicuddy.
Dickface McGillicuddy, gold chain, Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
So I think that the powers that be took the HMS Resolute wood from that famous desk and turned it into part of his casket. So that's why it's probably no longer.
Who
in the
turned
White
it
House.
into a casket?
And I
The-
think Dick Cheney
You're
loved that desk.
suggesting the Oval Office desk got
Yes.
turned into Dick Cheney's casket?
I think part of it was taken to build a casket around, because I think there's some magical significance to this desk because it was given as a gift to Rutherford Hayes. Was it in
Yeah.
1880? Was it Rutherford? So it's sort of this idea that Queen Victoria in 1880 says, you know what, I guess you guys are
Baba.
on your own now. You guys can do your own thing. Here's some wood to put in your little office there to always remind you of the Queen Victoria.
Bubba is French. We did not know. We did not know he was French when we got him, or else I might have just stuck with Dickface McGillicuddy, for the French guy.
Right. It does make sense.
Yeah, he's we found out months later, like 4 or 5 months after we had him, another guy who knows the people that owned him or who had him told me he's a Brock Saint Germain.
Okay.
And so I looked that up, and yep, that's what he is. And we were trying hard to figure it out. We couldn't figure it out. And yeah, that is
powerful line of light working canines.
Yeah, we've been waiting for him to take some emeralds and make them better, or do some other nice tricks like that. But he hasn't done any tricks like that at all. Not one.
You have to wait until he's 4 before he starts opening portals and shit. It's just, yeah. It's the way dog ears work.
Good, valid point. Apparently, it's a very rare breed of dog. It said that basically only people that are professional dog trainers and hunters, have that kind of dog.
Okay.
Super easy to train. Like literally, he don't need no spankings. He's worse than the pit bulls, if you can believe that. Like you get mad at him and he's like, "Oh God, oh no, why are you mad?" Like it's worse than the pit bulls. I gave him a spanking one time because he was running around chewing things up, and he chewed up the seat of Brian's side by side, and he chewed up our Christy and I have this mattress that it's not really a mattress, just like a piece of foam that we take camping, and we put it in the back of the truck, and he chewed that up, and he's chewing up things, so he got a spanking, and oh God, he was a broken dog.
Mm-hmm. Yarp, yarp, yarp.
Yeah.
Yarp.
Yeah. And then after that's when we found out what he was, and it says in there that they don't do well with harsh punishments. I was like, no kidding. And it wasn't even harsh.
I think the harshest punishment is having to sit on the same desk that your opponent used. I'm talking Biden and Obama.
Why exactly would Dick Cheney get buried with pieces of the Resolute desk? What is the symbolism that's supposedly coming into play with that?
Well, it lets everybody know that he was actually president for 8 years.
But they don't take pieces of the president or pieces of the Resolute desk and bury them.
He was buried with John McCain's finger.
It's the opposite of peace in the Middle East.
In his mouth.
Yeah.
In accordance to tradition.
Yeah. Also, 2 pubic hairs for Marilyn Monroe. A descendant of Roosevelt.
That was the part of the drawer of the Resolute desk that they used for his casket. And it just happened to have, leftovers from the 60s.
Yeah, there's got to be a Bill Clinton cigar in there. It's almost like a time capsule.
Right, right. It's like they put a bunch of stuff in with the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney got the blood of a 9-year-old, which is what he had been used to getting as part of his, frequent blood replacement therapies, along with his 85 hearts. We did salute the hero, the pig valve, that sacrificed itself for the greater good when it took itself out and took Dick Cheney with it. So thank you, pig valve.
That is almost the end of the list from the 90s era Iraq scandal. The original Bush team. That is almost everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I know this will be Thanksgiving weekend. That what I'm about to suggest. So short notice, number 1, but also very busy holiday weekend, number 2. So I don't expect like a huge turnout, but we were knocking around the idea of having a little get together on Saturday, November 29th, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So again, I understand if people have obligations and stuff like that, but it's the anniversary of Henry Kissinger's death.
Oh,
And so I feel like, huh?
This is why when you get done, I want to pull this over into like when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This is part of why I didn't freak out on people for cheering about that, although I absolutely don't agree with it. So, but keep going.
Yeah. Well, and comparatively, Charlie Kirk had minimal power compared to Henry Kissinger.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Henry Kissinger was an actual player.
Doesn't even touch the destruction that Kissinger brought to the world. Doesn't even touch it.
Yeah, not even no. Charlie Kirk isn't responsible, as far as I know, for a single death. Henry Kissinger is single-handedly the butcher of fucking Laos.
Cambodia. Yeah, he didn't destroy Cambodia. Fucking douchebag. But my point to that being, like, a lot of the right got up on their moral high horse about the left cheering it, and I thought, and I just couldn't get down. I don't agree that the Charlie Kirk thing was great, but on the same token, it's not like I'm going to sit there and pretend like there aren't people in the government that if they are no longer around, I'm not going to take that as a net positive for the world, such as Dick Cheney. Like, Dick Cheney was him gone is a net plus for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And I'm not, and so I can't get on my, and so, but the whole thing is I also am self-aware enough to realize that that's a subjective opinion. Not everybody holds that opinion. So then subjectively, if you have that same feeling about somebody else, well, then how am I supposed to get on a moral high horse about it? And the right really, and it's weird because I know most of the right still to this day prays for the Hillary Clinton not to wake up in the morning, so you guys are pretending like you don't do that for people. I don't understand where the moral high horse came from this.
Can you, like, just genuine homespun people in the middle of their dinner prayers, thank you, Lord, for this meal we're about to receive and for the bountiful gifts of your heart is before us, and just, Lord, if you could see fit, send an angel of death by way of Hillary Clinton, please. I beseech thee, oh Lord, just strike her from this earth and remend her soul to hell where it belongs, where she can boil in eternity forever and ever. Amen.
That is how I know that exact prayer, exact word for word prayer got said in the household. I can't believe they said that they are celebrating Charlie Kirk's passing. Like, we would never do that.
Yeah, you did. That was one of the funny, like one of the only times that Marte spoke in the debate that we had. Was to point out all of the memes that the right had made regarding George Floyd. Like, that dude did more to help bolster our case than he did raise a pinky to defend his own prompt. It was very just right honorable of him. It was.
I do have
we do appreciate him being our team MVP.
Very
kind. A visual here. I don't know if it's helpful to what we're trying to explain here, but it's a Kirk chart.
Okay.
So I don't know where we want to start with this because this is a non-linear type of a thing. I think it's three-dimensional in some way, and we're a bit of a three-dimensional podcast, so I think we can do some three-dimensional thinking to figure out what is a Kirk and what is not a Kirk.
Okay.
So on the bottom, we got a little growing pain situation here with the Mr. Cameron, the Kirk Cameron, who had some relation to that other actor who was in Titanic, but that's not really relevant to the story. Otherwise, it's just a ship that sank.
Related to Candace Cameron Diaz.
I was thinking James Cameron, right? For Titanic.
Oh no! I don't. Are they related? I didn't even put that together. They
maybe symbolically. Maybe
I knew that Candace Cameron
symbolically.
Wood Growing Pains was another one of those shows. Family
Kirk
Ties,
Cameron was
maybe.
in them, Left Behind series that all the Christians thought were
Oh,
the
heck
greatest
yeah.
shows that ever came out.
Yep. So
Before Kevin Sorbo became the darling of the right, Christian right, it was Kirk Cameron. Now it's Hercules.
Right. Well, hard to outshine Sorbo.
Yeah.
So the word Kirk etymologically being connected to church would explain the Christ Church. I think that's a city. Is that a province? A district? Something under this Christ Church flag. Is that in New Zealand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Christ Church is Kirk. Charlie Kirk is Kirk. Christ Church is Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron is Kirk.
He didn't get raptured.
He may have. I don't know. Does he have a social media account that we need to check up on?
Yeah, is he still here? Did anybody check on Kirk Cameron?
What's he been doing?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
He could have got the rapture.
Yeah. Is he even with us anymore? Or did he sky float?
Did he skydance away? Yeah, we asked a very important question. If the rapture happens and the trumpet sounds, is there some sort of handicap accessibility guide that we need to follow for rapture preparedness? So if you don't hear the trumpet because you're still waiting on a miracle to have your deafness or your hearing aid battery replaced, whichever it is for you.
Well, you would think that, the floating of the righteous up towards heaven would be a telltale sign.
Well, that don't happen every day. That does seem noteworthy.
Also, if you're the one getting raptured, wouldn't you just get raptured? Would you have to go outside when you hear the trumpet? Like, is that in the book? Is that part of the protocol?
You get raptured, but you didn't step outside, so you just get stuck to the ceiling. And now,
right. Your soul goes to ascend, but because you didn't have a clear line of sight, it's like trying to get Starlink.
Yeah.
You have to have a clear line of sight. You can't have too many trees blocking the way. No large buildings.
I see. Okay. All
yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Starlink comes with a nice warmer, though, in case it's too cold and the ice is blocking it. So if it's because you're an Eskimo, then Starlink actually is superior to Rapture because the Starlink will warm up the thing so you can get through.
So I know this is sort of a template situation in this, not quite a meme format, but I know there's probably a official sounding academic name for it. It's not a Venn diagram. It's something that is not. Maybe there's some logic, grammar, rhetoric.
Isn't this one a uterus diagram?
Is it Uterian?
It's a uterine trivium.
Uterine trivium. Okay, I'm writing it down.
Charlie Kirk is the left fallopian tube.
Right.
Well, and also it's like this side up, so you could rearrange it any way you want, but I don't know why they put Kirk Cameron closer to hell than the other locations.
Well, he's just the lowest grossing Kirk in that equation.
Okay, yeah, that would, financial considerations aside. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I got that.
Yeah, right. He doesn't have the multi-million-dollar estate in Arizona's most selective neighborhoods and shit like that.
Yeah, they didn't get paid as well back then.
Yeah,
that was the early '80s. We still hadn't reached that. Fame is equal to godhood, and they should get all the monies for doing nothing. Like you look back at the early '80s, and that show I think was the late '80s.
Not to run back the joke too much, but I do have an example of the proper way to invoke the Lord's name when you're getting ready to kick off a major event.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks. So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the RO7 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the Little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity. Amen.
Amen.
You almost, because you just kept running your mouth right on top of the boogity, boogity, boogity.
Well, because I
Amen.
was trying to teach you something, Steve. If you would have stopped to listen, Mr.
They're
YouTube
short clips.
Handicap,
They're on Instagram.
Mr.
You can
YouTube
hold it.
Handicap. So the way we get to play those clips without getting dinged, I was taught, is you have to put substantive information over top of it. So if we play it
Over the
for
top of it.
5 or 10 seconds and then we stop it and we do a little dialogue, you're altering the video enough to where it's no longer copyright because
Yeah.
now you've added to it. So you can't, so it's only when you play it in a longer string like that, that's when you get hit. But if you do it in little 10-second clips
Was
and
I
then we
supposed
stop
to
and
add a
talk for a few
hallelujah
seconds,
and alleluia?
then they won't ding us, is what I was taught.
I would like to thank you, Lord, for the Marlboro girl.
I think that's historically
walking around
important
dispensing free
documentation.
cigarettes in their tiny little shorts, Jesus.
You know, these,
I would like to thank you, Heavenly Father, for the
These-
pit crews.
these prayers
Without
of
whom these
Thanksgiving.
mighty machines could not wheel around the track at speeds of upwards of 267 miles an hour.
On Conoco fuel.
I do appreciate these prayers of Thanksgiving. I think this is a great public display of culture and loving a wife publicly.
Now, is he going to keep saying that prayer when the NASCAR starts bringing in tranny cheerleaders like football is?
Right.
And thank you, Lord, for that twink over there, Jimmy. Look at that. He looks better in them high heels than the girls do. Look at them long legs. Barely any hair on that boy.
Did we have let's see, this other image showed up in our chat. Do we want to say something about it?
Not to diminish your divine presence, Heavenly Father, but when we said we needed to swap out a tranny, we did not mean grab Freddy over there.
Oh, fuck. What image? What were you talking about pulling up there, Marcus?
This image, it's not quite the orthodox meme format. You know, usually it's a side-by-side image, but the text reads, "Crayons are for coloring," right? And the top is a host for some show who was confronting the actress on the bottom there by name of Sydney Sweeney, who refused to state anything in regards to her denim advertisements, in which the tagline was something about having great jeans.
I'm not sure how that has to do with the Marines, why the Marines got drugged into this.
Well, because it's Armistice Day.
Toasty, what's up, brother?
So I think there can be peace among the millennials, as our actress here opened in many theaters playing a female boxer, a woman who gets into the ring and knocks the lights out of other women.
That new movie that I saw that she made is boxing. She's a female boxer.
The one called is it about Christie?
I saw that she has a new movie that bombed.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you pick Tits McGee over here to be a boxer? That's ridiculous.
It is pretty dumb. That's
Like,
yeah.
can she even do a straight punch around them titties?
She's
Is it
got
all
a
hooks?
right.
Is it just a long form commercial for athletic leisure wear, or what we might formerly called a sports brassiere, just to keep everything from bouncing around?
Yeah, put him in one of those freaking like binder things.
Binders. Hmm.
Yeah,
Chicks got udders.
right. Never seen anyone boxing a corset before, but willing to take one for the team.
Seems like it's unfair. It's going to give an advantage during that gut punch, but
Right?
we'll see how it pans out.
Right? Yeah. No, I did. Jason Basler from Knights of the Storm said that when he was in the army in one of their supply rooms, there was a box of crayons that had labeled on it emergency Marine rations. Yeah.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. And the worst part is that still tastes better than army food. Oh fuck.
At least the wax in the crayons was organic.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Like holy shit! Like what I see him feeding now don't look bad. Like the MREs and stuff. Freaking when I was in, we were still getting the shit that hadn't expired from Vietnam yet. And we're like, oh yay, more old Vietnam rations. Awesome. Oh, corned beef hash.
Right.
just trying to pull up the other boxing movie that really eclipsed this one that came out 20 years ago, $1 Million Baby, starring Hilary Swank.
Also stupid, but at least she didn't have gigantic tits. I did see the Hilary Swank one.
Isn't a knockout like a blonde bombshell, and she was playing the brunette.
And then, but the other good part with that, well, not good. I mean, I always say good. But
It's okay to
in that
enjoy
movie,
things,
at least
Ben.
she doesn't go on to be some dominant boxer. She like gets knocked out and hits her head on a chair. And
You know, there's this thing where, women want to be taken serious in their acting craft. I think Charlize Theron did something like that in a movie one time that I didn't see. Women get older.
was it called Monster Ball?
Monsters Ball, yeah.
So just
Where's he?
Monster, or was that the one with the Bond girl, the short hair, Halle Berry, who was in Swordfish?
Halle Berry.
Monsters,
this is
not Monsters
wild.
Ball.
Now it would almost. My daughter's definitely not listening to the show, but it would almost appear that she is, because here's the Northern Lights tonight.
Oh, nice.
The spiderweb effect over the screen. It's
No,
quite nice.
that is my cracked ass screen.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Yep,
you guys don't.
I see it. I have a product to sell you. I just got to bring it up here.
Yeah, I was working on my truck on a slight incline, and I didn't think about it, and I had my transmission in neutral, and oh, that was wild. Had my transmission in neutral, and it was fine and not moving. And then I put the drive shaft back on, and when I went to torque it down, the torquing it spun the drive shaft, which spun the fucking differential, and the truck started rolling forward. And no, that's not fog, Tiny Loose. That's actually the sky. That's what the Northern Lights. I mean, my phone pictures are shit, but that's the Northern Lights up in northern South Dakota.
Right, and your phone screen was cracked, so they've recognized this flaw in the design. The phone is just too smooth. Well, what you do need is this new product that is launching here. It's kind of a designer product. This is the iPhone pocket, I just call it the iPhone sock. Sort of this sling that you just kind of wear to.
It's a tiny purse.
It's
It's a clutch bag.
Yeah, to carry your digital ID device with you everywhere you go. They call it the iPhone pocket. I call it the iPhone sock or sling, if you prefer. It comes in all these sorts of colors, and there's this sort of a slit through the middle of it, so it's kind of sensual in that way that only Apple products can really be. Just kind of got the little knob peeking out there. In kind of the United Colors of Benetton here as well. But really, I think this is sort of a ninja fashion statement, because clearly we have a black belt and a brown belt there, and I know those are important in the martial arts, karate.
And I don't disagree. I don't think Sydney Sweeney's that hot either. I think I would give her a solid 6. I don't think her face is that great.
I think they're talking about Halle Berry, not Sydney Sweeney.
Halle Berry wasn't bad either. I'd probably actually would have given her face a 7, not a 6. But
does that leave me with Hilary Swank?
You want to date Hilary Swank?
You know, I do this thing, and maybe I should start a consulting service
Is she into guys that always smell like Ricolas?
Well, here's my thing, and I want to kind of maybe
It was
pitch this
listed
to
in
you.
her turn-ons, yes.
Some of the services I might begin offering is just like kind of public relations preparation services. You know, if you call yourself Hilary S. Wank, it might not be a great name to put on a star, you know, in cement, engraving that on any sort of award, you know, Hilary S. Wank. I think we could workshop that a bit, get some better names.
Yeah, I don't really know too many of her movies, I guess. I know she was in that one where she pretended to be a boy, and then like in all those Hollywood movies, somehow nobody around her figured that out. Like
The Ellen Page story?
She was in Milan.
I don't remember what it was called. All she did was take and like ace bandage her boobs down and somehow and cut her hair short, and that was good enough for nobody to figure out that was a girl pretending to be a boy. You're like, because people are that stupid. Like they don't want to realize that there's a flavor to things that you can't get by.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was there's times that you can tell when somebody did something. Like artists, they have a certain flair or a certain way that they do things. Even somebody's signature, your signature, you do this with the bees and you make this little thing off to the side. And so girls, like I used to go out and do these festivals very regularly and sell crystals and jewelry and stuff. And we went to this one festival and it allowed naked people. Well, these two trannies that had been through it was guys that transitioned to girls. And they walked over and of course, you know, trying to make a display of themselves. Well, I didn't know that was going to go on. So I had my daughter with me. And my daughter looks at me after they left. It's like, why was that girl like a boy? And I'm like, because that was a boy. Like, it doesn't matter. It's you can remodel that old Pizza Hut all you want. We all still know it's an old Pizza Hut. It's the flavor of Pizza Hut is still all on that building.
And it's very brave of business owners to retain the unique architectural design and then turn it into like a taco stand or a Chinese buffet. And if they were to keep the stained glass window themed lighting, that would just go over the table. That would be great. Looking at the clock here, and we haven't had a debate in quite a while, so I'm ready to throw you guys a topic, and the prompt is It's related to the WNBA and the raising or lowering of the rim. Now, the ball that they use is a smaller size, but the height of the rim remains the same. It's consistent. It's 10 feet. So, who wants to take 4 raising the rim, and who wants to take 4 remaining the same?
Not only do I not have any opinions, particularly on basketball, I somehow went from no opinions to even less than that on women's basketball.
Okay.
And my only opinion on the entire subject is if they were to lower the rim height, then there's a possibility I could like tickle the net by jumping at that point. Like,
So,
like
are you suggesting that women should just grow taller?
I'm
Stretch their arms out
suggesting that
longer?
I'm suggesting that I am white of
Uh-huh.
average height. I have approximately 2-inch vertical leap, and I have never had anything to do with basketball.
Okay, so for reference, when it comes to volleyball, men's versus women's volleyballs, they're able to raise or lower the net.
There is no such thing as men's volleyball. That is a
There
myth.
is. I've played it.
There is not. There is tranny volleyball and women's volleyball.
No, there's indoor volleyball and beach volleyball for all genders.
There's things that people that can't go out and do actual dude stuff play,
Mhm.
and then there's girls.
All right.
See, Ben is talking shit because volleyball is another sport that requires people to jump, and as mentioned, he's got 2-inch vertical. So anything that he's not capable of doing himself, he will shit talk.
I am capable of clearing a Bic lighter.
Mhm. So I got into a little bit of the statistics relating to the star players of the WNBA, and one of these players is shooting 34% from the field, so she's
Is that
missing
good?
2/3 of all of her shots.
Is that
She's
good
mi-
or bad?
She's
That's
missing
all star in
2/3.
baseball. 333. That's all star.
Mhm. Okay. Right. So there are some people that
I
were
do remember
complaining.
Top Gun, and you're gonna try and tell me that those guys weren't all gay, all sitting around sweating, like sticking each other's chests out and rubbing on each other and shit. You're gonna try and tell me that was straight dudes?
They were playing volleyball. It was a team building exercise.
That was the censure.
Yeah.
Well, the censure is they were playing volleyball and there wasn't a fucking case of Miller High Life right next to one of the net poles. Something like that. They weren't like actually like hanging out. They didn't accidentally hit the volleyball over onto the other court where the fucking females were hanging out.
Which is what all guys would do. If you're going to pretend to be playing volleyball, you're only doing it just to knock it over into the girls' area to get girls to come over and do something.
And it might just be a situation where the desk in the White House Oval Office was changed around because it wasn't ergonomic enough. I think it's just a matter of the female physiognomy to say that, to kind of find out what would be the optimal height for them would provide a more exciting dynamic game, although we would probably have to reset all the statistics of the WNBA.
I know what's hanging. And what straight dude calls himself Iceman? Hey, Iceman. Hey, Maverick, you can be my wingman. No, I'm going to be wingman. They're like, come on.
Yeah, it's that was the Navy, right?
Yeah,
They were
for
Navy
sure.
fighters. Well, there you have it. They're already all gay anyway.
In the Navy.
Right?
I know, like the whole movie started out he famous because he got up in like 69 with another plane or something.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So really it has more to do with fancy footwork and selling shoes. That's why women join the WNBA, because of their love of footwear. And this opens a whole new avenue
They're just
of
hoping to get
footwear
a free
opportunities.
dildo.
Well, that was a part of the game. Now it's certainly
Like if you catch the thrown dildo, it's similar to like the flowers at a wedding. You're the
Mhm.
next one that gets to quit being a lesbian.
Oh, I thought that meant they were the next person to get gay married.
That's if it's the double-ended dildo.
You get hit with the dildo on court.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
So it's like shattering the glass ceiling. Women have not been able to dunk hard enough to shatter their glass ceiling in the WNBA.
Is there any girls that can dunk?
There's like 2, and they're probably both dudes. Got that
I can't dunk, so I ain't even talking
you want a
shit.
man thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive to me because I can't. I can't hardly make the fucking net move. Like I'm up there like waving at it like. Get some movement.
I could dunk my senior year in high school, and a couple of times I played basketball in my early 20s, but I ain't doing no jumping now.
Fucking, for all I'm talking about, I can barely clear a fucking Bic light, or Steve doesn't even lift one of his legs up. It just drags along behind him like a fucking Scooby-Doo ghost character.
It's true. It's true.
There was some talk of making the WNBA more athletic and adding trampolines.
Right. Well, that's why they're letting dudes play in it.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just think that we have an issue already because there's the NBA and then there's the WNBA. So it's like, why can't it just all be NBA?
Because then it would just be all dudes.
Right.
Nobody wants any of those chicks on their team.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it by merit, you're not getting a single one of those ladies up there.
Right, but it's like we have the word actor, and that's fine, but then some women are actresses. But there are some women who are actors. And the hate that
I love
Sydney Sweeney...
after Marcus said that.
Right.
Steve and I are just sitting there like,
Nobody gives a fuck about this semantic bullshit. Nobody. Not even the actors or the actresses.
Tresses.
Right.
The sibilance of the microphone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think they're all going to be replaced by AI anyway. So at this point, all of the
they might
actors
get
are
good then.
just taking whatever roles are going.
Seriously
their
though,
way.
what is a good percentage in making baskets?
You know, I just did the minimal amount of research in the WNBA, lest my algorithms all start showing me highlight reels of.
If you're a
women
male
dunking.
all-star, what should your shooting percentage be?
So your field goal percentage should be, if you're good, it should be somewhere in like the high 60s, mid 70s.
So about twice. So about you're making 2/3 rather than 1/3.
Yeah.
And I do agree, trampolines in women's basketball would make it so much more interesting. I do lack empathy. Yeah. I also lack the hubris to think that I can understand somebody else's life. So, isn't that what empathy is?
Well, is Shaq empathetic in saying he wants to see the franchise continue, all the teams and all the athletes? And
That's
he
because
was
Shaq is
adamant.
probably banging the girls. And also, he can just dunk without even jumping, doesn't he? Doesn't he just kind of reach up?
No,
set
but
it?
there's a fucking 7'10" dude now
Jesus.
who like
Seven
just sort of
foot
tippy
10?
toes and dunks it. Yeah.
Yeah, is he Chinese? Are the
Holy
Chinese engineering
fuck.
athletes?
How is that even a thing? 7'10"?
I'm not sure.
Compassion is definitely more important than empathy. I think empathy is actually a giant problem, and I've thought that for a very long time because TV is what does it. People experience things through TV, and they're like, "I'm just like Dr. Quinn, medicine woman." Like whatever, because
Right.
you know,
It's a good
fucking
role model. I mean, it could be worse. You know, there's that angel of
I
death
did
and Touched by
catch-
an Angel.
I did catch that showdown, Toasty. Actually, I helped provoke it. I was one of the ones that was shitting on Andrew on Twitter until he got so mad that he's like, "Fine, I'll fight you guys." But by the time he got mad enough to do that, I was off fucking cutting wood.
Well, it's a big weekend for the debate bros having their modern day debate meet up IRL in real life for their debate convention.
Yeah, and
After
Andrew knows he
that-
looks real bad after his behavior. He knows he looks real bad, so he was real pissy with us fucking shoving it in his face. I also think though that my wife and Brian watched it, and what I did see of it, they were letting Andrew push him around, like they let him and I do understand that is what that dude does. That's how he wins about half of his debates, just by bullying people and backing them into a corner, and then they can't think. But I think and Flow State, his style of debate is to tend to let the other side say more stupid things and basically let them trap themselves. But Andrew is more well thought out. I don't think that's a good tactic for facing Andrew. So I don't think that they did a great job in that. I wish I'd been around, but winter came early, and so I am hard. We had 4 days off of rain. I had to go get fucking wood, and so I missed it. I was butthurt.
The Powdered Dusty channel having put out a lot of clips that were quite entertaining, clowning on certain debate bros. I think that it was really needing to come to a head for Andrew to confront this one guy, and I think I haven't seen it yet. How did it go down? Was it on Sunday?
I don't remember. I've been, I'm so horrible with days. It was a day or two ago.
Right. So I don't know that
They should have been more prepped, and that should have been more aggressive. And here's the thing: what did happen? Andrew pulled a little stunt where Andrew, and what he should have had was a video of Andrew saying he did not tell anybody to go attack Sarah or unsubscribe from her channel. He said flat out, "I've never said that." Well, Powder Dusty pulled up a video of him saying that shit, but then Andrew pulled up a video of him saying the opposite of it and said, basically, and so basically what they let that happen was then the two countered each other out. Well, if Powder Dusty was more forceful with the way he did things, I would have never let Andrew fucking try and play that game. Like, I don't give a shit if you got a video of you saying not to do that at some other point in time. Who gives a shit? What you said here, buddy, was that you never did this. And look, here's you doing it. Doesn't even matter if you made a different video or said a different thing at some other point in time. Here is you telling your however many subs to go unsub from fucking Sarah and to go sub to Rob. You fucking said it. Quit pretending you fucking didn't. It doesn't matter. And Andrew bullies his way around things, and I wish I'd been there because that cunt couldn't bully me for fucking half a second. But he won't face me. He's chicken shit.
No, and
No.
I realize it's been 1 year since Steve and Balderson appeared on a speakeasy for verbal combat.
Are you gonna finally fucking bust that shit out?
You know, I think it's been a long year, and it would be fun to go back and revisit that.
So for everybody that doesn't know about that, I went on Speakeasy,
Mhm.
his little fucking bitch ass. He said he started a video and it says, "Why won't anybody debate me?" You know, like he's just the best debater. So I went in there and I was like, what you want to debate about there, bro? And so I went in and for a couple hours I busted Speakeasy. He let in all his little wannabe ortho bro friends. I busted the whole lot of them and got the whole panel arguing with themselves. And I was just sitting back laughing my ass off. And that motherfucker put that video on private. He didn't even just take it down and put it on member. He put it on private. You know, you can go around saying, "Oh, yeah, everybody's scared to debate me. I win all the debates." Well, especially if you take down the ones that are fucking where you lose, which is part of why the ortho bros only want to go on their chosen moderators' shows now.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm definitely saying, I'm definitely sure Andrew's scared to debate me. We already went through it all on Twitter. It's easy. It's fairly easy to find. I would suggest looking at mine rather than Andrew's for this whole line, because I've only been on Twitter for like a year and I don't really use it. Yeah, behind a paywall is not private, Radio Sack.
Private
That's
means not
members
available
only.
to
You got to remember, we
anyone.
also have a channel. So if I move it to members only, that means only my members can see it. He's been doing that for a year. If you do that, I got nothing to say about it. That's a lot of people do that, especially people that say more controversial things. There's a good chance that somebody who's paying to see your channel is not going to also report you for saying a TOS word or something. So I'm totally down with that. Had he moved it to members only and you had to be a member to see it, I would have respected that. He moved it to private, so nobody can see it. That is not the same thing.
Right, and that was kind of frustrating because we...
No, I'm not talking about Andrew here. I've never debated Andrew. Well, I had like 20 seconds of debating with Andrew. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about Andrew.
Speak Easy of the Verbal Combat with a K, who was hosting open panels. That was 1 year ago, almost to the day here. So we may revisit that and kind of remember that little moment where things have changed quite a bit over the past 12 months between open panels and semi-open panels and completely closed panels, where the controlled moderation, safe space debates are completely manufactured and controlled.
Yeah. Well, we found that through our entire experience of this, that they only want to debate certain people and from certain angles. Really, Jay Dyer is the epitome of this, that literally, if he doesn't have a bumper rail set up on the side of a debate, so that way it only goes down the line that he wants it to go down, and it's only people willing to do that, he just cuts them off, throws them off the channel. And this is the way it's all getting.
Yep.
And yeah, I know Andrew, immediately after any show is done with Andrew, he pulls it, which is smart. For those of us that went through 2020, we understand the benefit of doing that, as almost all of us had our channels taken away. But if you pull it down off from open as soon as the live is done, then usually you aren't going to get an actual strike. That basically prevents strikes. It's smart.
So are the debaters unionizing?
The ortho bros apparently are.
Right.
Where they will only go and debate on channels with their chosen moderators now, because Sarah Tomato, who very much was cool with them and was very generous with the way she allowed them to act.
Sure.
And I will still say once again that the thing that's not getting brought up about Andrew was looking for a reason to bitch out. if you watch the last like 3 or 4 debates on Sarah Tomato's channel with Andrew, Andrew's behavior had notched up in bad behavior where he was interruptive, breaking her rules, doing things like that. And on his very last debate on her channel against that John Fuselgang or whatever, the guy that he had met on Piers Morgan, Andrew was so misbehaved that Sarah finally put 1-minute timers on there and said she was going to mute the other person if they tried talking during that 1 minute. And Andrew threw a big old fucking shit fit about it. And I guarantee, I wasn't watching Andrew's channel, but I guarantee he was when he was on his 1 minutes where he couldn't talk, he was over there talking shit. Because I've seen it happen like on modern day debate and stuff where Andrew's gotten muted because he was behaving so poorly. And as soon as the dude would mute Andrew, Andrew would be like, I don't fucking need this show. I don't even need to fucking be here. I'm just going to fucking leave, blah, blah, blah. And I guarantee if you went back to Andrew's or that debate on Sarah Tomato's channel during the times that Andrew was muted, Andrew was throwing a little baby piss fit while he was muted. And so on his very next interaction with Sarah, he fucking flips and loses his shit over something very minor. And I 100% think he was looking for something, you know, like we all wake up with that, you know, break shit attitude some days, you know, where you just don't want to wake up. Everything sucks. You know, like we all have that where we're looking for a fight. And he was doing that with Sarah. He was looking for a reason to go ballistic on her. How dare she mute the great Andrew? It was her. Yeah. How dare you mute the great Andrew? Oh, her channel's like his 4th channel. The only reason that channel even exists is because of Andrew Wilson, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, and absolutely he's been ducking me. Like I said, Radio Sack, you can go ahead and look at I don't have very many Twitter interactions. I just don't use it. So it'd be pretty easy to go back in my replies and look at me smash Andrew and smash Jim Bob on Twitter. This is part of why even though they agree to debate, and you can go back and find videos of Jim Bob agreeing to debate me. You can see on Twitter where he agrees. I posted where Andrew agreed, and they all back out. They don't want nothing to do with it. If you're not a fucking weak-willed little girl who doesn't know anything, they don't want to debate you.
What was the strategy for them to publicly agree to debate you and then hope something happens where you back out first? And you never backed out, Balderson. We said we're always available Tuesday nights. Yes, but also are flexible in our scheduling.
I posted it on the Twitter, that the screenshot of that. I said, our show's Tuesday night, but I'll make myself available whenever you're free. I understand. I even put in there, what's up, Brian? I even put in there, I understand that you have a much fuller schedule than I do. You know, I get that. And I live off grid, so I can shuffle most of my stuff around in order to do things. And he fucking, then we had it out on Twitter, and he tried pretending like he never agreed to debate. Then I put up a screenshot of him agreeing to debate. And then he said, well, you didn't remind me. At which point I put up a screenshot of me reminding him, you know, and not even being rude about it. Sure. At which point he busted out I'm Mr. Big Man, you're not even worthy. You know, so after you bust him again and again, the guy don't know how to not be decent. He just doesn't. And he's a scared little bitch. Straight up. Like, for as much as he brags about he's debated the biggest debaters, go back and look at the 3 biggest debaters. There's 4 well-known debaters that he's debated in the last couple of years. Destiny, who he, in a very Julius Caesar way, holds up as like this amazing debater because he's the only person that Andrew will debate. And so he's got to tell everybody how great Destiny is. And so that way, when he defeats him, he's defeating this amazing enemy. And look at, now you get to laud him. So he has to basically hold this story with Destiny. 2, Muslim Lantern. He crashed the debate in the opening statements. Matt Dillahunty. He crashed the debate in the opening statements. Dave Smith, he drugged the debate into nonsense and didn't even have the debate, and spent the entire debate with his little stupid logic game that he plays, and the fucking Ortho Bros don't even know how logic works. Like, that whole game, part of the reason it works for him is because people won't bust it because it's stupid. Like, they don't even understand how very stupid what they're saying is. All logic is supposed to be the heart of a thing. So Marcus is a human. We can further break that down into he's a male. We can further break that down into race. We can further break that down into more things. Eventually, though, he is Marcus. There's a very specific mindsets, thoughts, essence of Marcus that is only Marcus.
I like that essence of Marcus. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, that's worth money too, people. Worth money. That's pure essence, pure
high value.
And so
I'll hold your iPhone for you. You don't need an iPhone sock.
You don't even need a sock. He will be your iPhone sock.
Mm-hmm.
I will be your iPhone sock, baby. I will take away the pain.
Yeah, it's if I can speak a little Spanish to you, I'll become bilingual. Certainly. Duolingo. Be your language coach. Do some quantum languaging if that's what you like.
But yeah, this is the logic is the putting that on. So there's no, when it says thing A cannot be thing B, nobody else can be Marcus but Marcus. Marcus is his own thing.
That's why I brought up the Kirk chart. It's like Charlie Kirk is not Christ's church, but they share the similarity of the Kirk thing. So kind of drawing it out, if we need to do like visual reminders and make Venn diagrams, we can come prepared to any debate with as much information and PowerPoint presentations. I think they call them slide decks now. We can have it all prepared. But if we aren't able to have the debate, then it becomes a monologue. The thing that we designed this show format around was preparation for having debates with anyone. Yeah. And the only people that were really kind of having these debates have decided that they're not open to debating with outsiders.
And every one of them's like, I'll debate anybody. Nobody will debate me. And anytime you show up, they're like, yeah, but I wasn't talking about you. No, not you though.
Mm-hmm.
I won't. Nobody will debate me. Not those guys though. They don't count.
Right. They don't count. No one knows them. They're not on the circuit. They're not professionals.
And I certainly don't think that I'm professional. I think I'm getting better. I think I've made vast improvements between a year ago and now. That it's hard getting into debates. It's hard getting good debates. I think Steve and my performance against the Ortho Bros was fantastic. I don't even know how we could have done that one much better, so I'm pretty happy with it. But it also was an easy subject, in my opinion. So I think that they, on a serious note, why don't they want to debate us? So Meg asked, serious question, why do you think they won't debate you? And I honestly believe that it's because they're putting up a facade, especially amongst the Ortho Bros. They are catering to a very weak-willed group of men. If you look at it, while they will tout that the ortho community has grown more than any other Christian community of recent history, what they don't want to point out with that is that it's all men, and it's all single men that can't get girls. It's very similar to our guest GLO. When we have GLO come on the show, thank you, Linz. I appreciate that a lot. When GLO
okay.
comes
Yeah.
on the show, the people that he's speaking to are these Indian dudes that there's nothing manly about them. They're very weak people. They just want to bobs and vagines. And they see now, Toasty. I will address this in a second, Toasty. So when you can be the biggest dog in the room until a fucking wolf shows up. At the end of the day, you look at Andrew. He's got doughy forearms, the same size as his wrists. He doesn't do any manly shit. He's got highly developed opinions on new video games. He knows all about. The dude sits around, plays video games, and gets drunk. That's what he does. He's not manly. And if you look, that's why all the Ortho Bros Discord was basically a gamer app where gamers played games with each other, and that's where they all hang out. Now Toasty brought up the point, well, we're not important enough for them to care about. At which point I will bring up that I've got over 5,000 subs on my channel, and we get anywhere between 300 and 500 viewers on a stream at this point on my thing. Just mine. On Steve's Rumble, we get a couple thousand, and like 100 on Marcus's stream. Steve and I were very divested from YouTube, so our primary platforms were not YouTube. Both of us, our primary platforms were Rockfin, and Rockfin fucked us both over. Steve was, for like a 6-month period, out of 20, they would put their 20 biggest shows up, as for the homepage. Here's our biggest shows. Steve was 16 of them out of 20. So now, when you compare that to, let's look at who Andrew's debated. Let's look at some of the names. He's debated Radical Coder a bunch of times. Radical Coder just barely hit 1,000 recently. He's debated that Enemy Charlie. He's debated all kinds of people like that, where they don't even have, a lot of them don't even have enough fucking numbers to monetize their channel. So they're obviously smaller than us, are less well known. Andrew's wife, Rachel, is a flat earther. And so why does he debate people like Radical Coder? And like, he doesn't really debate very many people that have 10,000 followers. Go back and look at his debates. Most of them were with small channels. And yes, he debates about 100 feminist college chicks. Yeah, absolutely. Any dumb girl that doesn't know how to debate, he jumps right on it. You watch him in Twitter. He acted like he couldn't set up a debate with me because he's so busy. But then in the same week, he'd be like, some dumb girl would get on. He's like, I'll set up a debate right now, 18-year-old girl who still lives with her parents. I'll crush you. Like, it's not impressive. So he doesn't want somebody that can stand up to him. His biggest debate tactic is bullying, and he doesn't want somebody that he can't bully. And I'm sorry, some little bitch dude who picks on girls and doesn't actually do manly things and can't even open up a fucking pickle jar. You're not going to bully me around. It's just not going to happen. I've been in the fucking army. When I was 17, I had drill sergeants that would eat you alive in my fucking face all day, every day. Your little bitch fucking screaming at people and talking shit is not going to get you nowhere. It's not impressive. It didn't impress me when I was 17, and big, strong men and out of like special forces and shit did that to me. Andrew's fat, tubby, computer typing ass who's half drunk most of the time is definitely not pushing me around.
Well, we do have listeners who, despite the Tourette's like outbursts of animals and ambient noises of animals in the room, they still tune in. So it's not like easy listening, hard listening, the quality of the microphone, this type of thing. It's just you're available to debate. When you went on Speakeasy's show to begin the process of debate, that set off a chain reaction that made you a known entity in their back channel chats.
Yeah, that's
The
the other
word
thing,
was
Toasty,
spreading.
that you don't know about. When I debated Speakeasy, all the Ortho Bros talked about it for the next month and brought that debate up over and over again, including I brought up during that debate that if God is omnipotent, because that's where the key in this is, because this is a logic test, an actual logic test. Omnipotence is a box, and in that box are certain characteristics that make this thing omnipotence, meaning I am all powerful. I can do anything. So can God make a rock that he cannot lift? It's a circular argument. It should have just been pointed out that it's a circular argument, but they didn't. They got caught up in it, and it fucked them all up. And they talked about it for weeks. And you can go back and you look at the date when I debated Speakeasy, and then you look at them. The Ortho Bro ranks were butthurt about it because I smashed those guys.
And that's not a new argument.
No, it's a Socratic argument.
They had not heard of it before, and in their own minds thought that they needed to come up with the best rebuttal to that, not understanding that there's a large discourse of literature specifically addressing that issue of the omnipotence of the all-powerful creator and whether or not he can create a stone.
The problem is that discourse
even
is
he
pagan.
can't lift.
The problem is that discourse is pagan,
Right.
because logic is a pagan concept, and they're trying to overlay it through St. Thomas Aquinas onto Christianity when it was not. There was no Christians around when the laws of logic were invented and logic became a thing. And so then they're trying to port it into Christianity. So then they need to port logos in there and try and pretend like language is a gift from God. And it's not. And in fact, in the Bible, right away, one of Adam's first jobs, the first thing God's like, go name this shit. Well, logic is always logic is always going to fail when it comes to a metaphysical concept. Whether you're talking about God or even going out and taking a trip with some mushrooms or something, coming back and trying to describe this non-physical Ricolas, you can describe them to a T. You can describe them to a T. Logic works perfectly on Ricolas. Now,
you could have a great tasting, soothing relief tea if you let them dissolve in liquid. Is it still a Ricola if it's dissolved in water? Does the water make it less of a Ricola?
Now, what logic is going to fail to truly describe is the bliss that Marcus feels while ingesting a Ricola.
The quality of the experience.
Yeah, there's anything metaphysical, anything that we cannot weigh and measure, logic starts failing with. I can't describe to you, like, I have found Marcus in other places where Marcus is using a computer name that I'm not familiar with. And I still knew it was Marcus. Why? Because I am very good friends with Marcus. I talk to Marcus for hours and hours every week. And so there's a essence of Marcus. And as I'm watching this person and interacting, I'm like, why is this Marcus? And but I can't verbalize why I knew that. What am I picking up on that's not, oh, Marcus is this tall, this weight, has this type of hair, this type of beard. What am I picking up? I can't verbalize that. Logic will always fail when it comes to something metaphysical, something that's not weighed and measured.
Weights and measures, right? And that gets back to our argument for or against raising or lowering, or I would say right sizing the WNBA field. Also, maybe they run too much.
And don't bounce enough.
The quality of the sport is really.
Are you trying to advocate for Sydney Sweeney to play basketball? Is that where all this is going?
Well,
he is lobbying for the elimination of the sports bra in general.
She has that German Shepherd, and I would love another movie where dogs are playing human sports, and not in a sort of a Looney Tunes Space Jam sort of way. I'm talking, actual dogs on the court kicking a ball around.
Can you pull up Radio Sack's question?
Sure.
So that's an interesting question, Radio Sack. Very interesting. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of a simple guy with it. I'm able to let those things go. Like I'm a very it is type of guy. I really am. I mean, don't get me wrong. I try to figure out the secrets of the universe, but at the end of the day, some things I don't necessarily need to know why to operate it under that. Like, do I know exactly why the sun comes up in the morning? I know a lot of theories on it. I know a lot of models. Do I 100% know any of it? No. Does it make a difference? No. It still works no matter what I think. No matter what I think of it, it still works the way it is. Just recently in my lab work, for about a year, I've been struggling hard and having problems, and I got no reason, no explanation for those problems. And I recently figured out how to fix it, and the fix doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. It's actually doing something that I do not think it should do. I've got decades of experience of it not working that way, and now all of a sudden it works this way when it's never worked that way before. Do I have an explanation? No, but I know that this is the result that I want, so I'm going to keep doing it this way. Maybe I'll figure it out one day. That'd be nice, but if not, I'm still just going to do what works. And that is how I reconcile these kind of things. It's that I'm and this is one of the things that I said in that debate with the Ortho Bros, because as an Odinist, Odin is not the all. Odin is not even the original all father. Odin has a father. And they said, well, then why don't you follow the all as your God or the all father? And I said, because I don't understand them. That's too fucking far above my level of thinking to understand all the mysteries. And so at some level, there's a dude that understands way more, but it's something that I can at least grasp to some degree. And
part of the wisdom is in understanding what aspects of life are a puzzle and what aspects of life are a mystery. A mystery is meant to be experienced. A puzzle is something you might have to solve to get to the next stage of life or unlock something to get around an obstacle. Whereas a mystery, is it an obstacle in your life and your psychological development? You have to face it directly. And there's aspects of like shadow and projecting and these types of things that we have to go through. So when we talk about, like a spiritual tradition and having spiritual advisors and things, all the joking aside and all the sort of just ribbon and dunking on the Ortho Bros, they're selling this sort of spiritual mystery tradition orthodoxy thing, but then not allowing people to experience their own mystery in their own way. So this is kind of the mediation between God and man. And then when they put their Discord server between the man that you got to get to talk to God, then it's just, that's them, again, gatekeeping in their own way. That's them preventing people from having any sort of growth and development. And to not expose their followers to the deliberating dog-faced dudes is a deliberate decision on their part. They cannot participate with any of us, and then tell their viewers to not watch that debate. So they simply cannot have the debate because it would plant seeds of doubt in some of their minds.
Yeah. And I think specifically they're scared of Odin because there's something, and this is a fucking fact. White people, when they hear Odin, something rumbles in their chest. You see it all the time with Christians. Like, you'll see them, they fucking, even just recently with the fucking government people, fucking go to with talking about Valhalla and shit like that, because there was an honor, there was a goodness there was a self pride that you don't get with Christianity. That white men, we love that shit. We love that shit. We love honor. We love duty. We love pride. We like this kind of thing. We like being part of something greater. And Odin was it for us, and Christians have a real hard time with Odin.
Certainly. Yeah.
Definitely not Ogden. We got nothing for the Mormons. Although I will absolutely say that no matter how weird I think them fuckers are, I do appreciate the people that they seem to have produced. Because if you go to fucking Salt Lake, and more specifically like Lehigh and places like that, away from the bigger city where it's really heavily Mormons, wow, are their cities nice. They're clean. Everything's nice. You're like, huh, that's a interesting result from such a weird religion. Yeah, Odin, Wotan, Woden, the Allfather. And that's who I follow, Radio Sack. And they don't want to face that. I have what? Gunk? Schmegma? I'm Germanic, not Nordic, but it's same idea.
So I know we also kind of interacted with another fellow that we kind of forgot about. Here's another exhibit to bring up. This brings us back to the idea of GLO, who was doing a lot of counseling for men from India. And now,
what is a poop? You're gonna shoot me with a poop sniper? What the fuck does that mean? That's fucking hilarious.
It is quite funny. So our relation to Tyler Oliveira, he attempted to crash a flat earth conference that Balderson was speaking at. And we saw this guy kind of weaseling around with kind of a camera, didn't really fit in, was sort of asking dumb questions, trying to get some clips, and then, published his video in which he couldn't find any sort of real craziness in the people. So he had to try to contrive something about something dumb, and it ended on kind of just, there wasn't a punchline. It just kind of fell flat at the end. So he never gave up. And I think he's 25 years old now, because he has a blood test that he showed in a different picture. He decided to travel to India, in which they have a cultural festival in which they celebrate, dung, manure, this type of thing. And they kind of throw it around at each other and have a big sort of fight with the manure and the dung in the streets. So Tyler goes to this festival, and he's starting to promote the content of this longer form, like 30-minute documentary, where he's showing this festival and kind of
the dude's got like 8 million fucking subs.
Right. He's got a lot of subscriptions. He's kind of this smug-faced white guy who shows up and kind of crashes everyone's party, and it's sort of this attitude that he carries with them. So in finding out that this was the situation, some men in the South Asian masculinity subreddit, it looks like, were saying that they wanted to cancel him because he came to their festival and wanted to incite more racism. So they were calling him a Yahtzee. They were saying he was kind of a supremacist and skin color, this type of thing.
Meg, number one, I'm glad that you said as a man, because I would have never guessed Meg was a man's name. So I won't make that mistake. As a white man, my only experience ever seeing a god or goddess figure, it was a woman with red hair, but I couldn't see her face. And she was the Lady of the Dawn. Fucking fascinating. Fascinating. And he says, so as a person having followed no gods or goddesses and having no knowledge of them, I find it interesting that it was my race that appeared. And I find it perfect that it was your race that appeared. This is part of why I follow Odin, is that that's the god of my people. That is the genetic heritage. That was, I actually, and here's the deal. I believe Odin is the all father of my people. I don't think that Odin created the desert people. I don't think he created the sub-Saharan African people. I don't think he created the Native American people. I don't think he created any of those people. I think that their gods did that. And I think that there is multiple pantheons of gods around, and that they compete and conflict similar to the way we do. And I don't disbelieve many of their stories. Now, with that said, I think that it follows your genetic heritage and the gods that you're aligned to. And myself, I spent years and years on a search of different religions and theologies and whatnot, trying to figure out where I fit in. And weirdly enough, I never looked into Germanic, which is what I am by blood. Germanic and Scottish. I never looked into those. And it wasn't until I started looking into the Germanic, like when I picked up the Havamal and I read it the first time, I literally was like, did I write this? Like, what the fuck? Because it was like a log of the way I saw the world. There was a few odds and end things that I don't track with, or that I had to adjust to. But for the most part, quit trying to steal my hot chocolate. For the most part, it was just natural. It was like putting on an old glove or something, you know. It was just amazing. And I think that that's the way that's supposed to be. I think the world has twisted us, especially like in the Western world. It's mostly the Abrahamic religions have come and forced everything else out. And the Hebrew people was a small tribe out of a desert area. Like, their God is not my God. And it's not until I followed the ones of my forefathers that I actually had a meaningful experience with a God, where Odin actually interacted with me. It wasn't just me sitting there praying and hoping to feel good afterwards, or having a good feeling. There was an actual real interaction. Not much of one, but enough. Odin's not a real chatter. He gave me a key, said, here you go. You want this? Go get it. He wasn't going to give it to me. Yeah, I agree. White people, it's funny. I think I suffered that same thing, Meg. That's why I think I stayed away from the actual white culture gods, because there's something that's been placed on the Western world, on white culture, that says, do not seek your own people. There's something wrong with white. There's something wrong with white culture. There's something wrong with white religion. And so I never went and studied Odin. And then it doesn't help that the most knowledge that's around is derived from the Marvel universe, which absolutely has nothing to do with the religion outside of, or the theology outside of the name transfer. There's no reality behind any of the Marvel bullshit. And honestly, if you try to originally look up Odin and Thor and things like that, you're going to get the Marvel shoved in your face, or video game lore shoved in your face, and trying to find the actual lore is super hard. Also, I saw earlier you said Aryan. I'm not an Aryan. Aryans actually Iranians. That's not even white people. So it's really weird that white people have ported that over. There were any of the white guys that talk about the Aryan thing, they also talk
It was
about
like
Tibet.
Himmler, right? That was his thing.
Yeah. And they talk about Tibetan stuff a lot. Because really in the real definition of Aryan was in the church, there was the Aryan controversy, which had nothing to do with white people being the supreme first race or whatever. It had to do with whether Jesus was part of a Trinity and God in and of himself, or whether Jesus was a derivative. And so that was an entire controversy in the church. And that was actually what the First Council of Nicaea was called for, was to get rid of the Aryan controversy.
Arian, if you're looking it up.
Why would Iranians be white? I mean, I understand that gets pushed. But that's just not the way things work in the world. And Iranians definitely aren't white. Why would desert sand people be white? Like white was a regional thing. Dark black is a regional thing. You only found dark black people in Africa. You didn't go up to Canada and find 100 white tribes and then one black one by chance. You didn't go down to Africa and find white people. The same thing applies. Desert people are they have that either olive to bronze skin, more porous, because they're in a very fucking hot area, where white people have very, very tight pores because we're from a cold spot. No, that does go around, Radio Sack. There's a Aryan sect of white people that's the thing that they propagate. And one of the things that they use for that is that in almost every mythological figure has blue eyes and red hair. It's a real weird phenomenon. Whether it's Buddha, you go look up Buddha, blonde, blue eyes, red hair. Muhammad, blue eyes, red hair. Over and over, that seems to be a cross contamination. But in my opinion, that cross contamination on that is the Bene Gesserit's Missionaria Protectiva.
Protectiva Missionaria, yeah.
Yeah, where they go around and they insert things into all the mythologies, so that way at some point in the future they can control events and make it mythological through pieces that they've inserted into the mythology. Is what I'm it's not blonde hair. That was specifically a Hitler thing. Like if you look at the Germanic and even the Norse mythologies and stuff, Thor, red hair, Loki, the red-haired one.
Not strawberry blonde?
No, it's strawberry
actual
blonde,
red hair. Like actual
red
red.
hair, flaming red hair.
Yeah, okay.
Like the people of the North had. Like if you look at all my grandchildren except for one, screaming red hair.
Sure. So the year we're in, 2025, where we have this, World Wide Web. That's the World Wide Web, where everybody in the world is on the web now, and they're speaking English, and they are fighting for their culture. So this Tyler character,
my beard color.
This Tyler character goes over to India to sort of say, wow, look at these people. They're literally consuming feces in this festival.
I would not consume it, but I also will not shit talk having some shit throwing contests. I'm just not gonna.
So there was this.
I'm from a farm. We do that kind of thing occasionally,
right?
So if your buddy's walking by and you got a good shovel full of some stuff that's kind of stewy, and
So it's interesting to us because it's
Steve just smiled. He's like,
it's all these men.
Yeah.
It's all these men. It's all these men in the street just having a good time. The women are up in the balconies, up on the third, fourth floor, staying away from all this activity. So Tyler kind of shows up and he's wearing like protection gear, like a hazmat sort of, biohazard cleanup suit type thing. But it wasn't completely sealed off. He's wearing something white. It's going to turn brown. It's going to get kind of covered in this way. And before he even released the documentary, they were wanting to cancel him, and they were really harassing him. They were saying really nasty things. They were taking pictures of him with his sister and mother, and then making headlines stating that his sister and mother were selling their unclothed images for money.
1.4 million subs right now. And the documentary or the video that you're talking about, 2.1 million views in 2 fucking days.
It's a big thing on YouTube, and for it to be allowed, well, how many of those people are from India watching YouTube? That would be a statistic he'd be able to figure out. But they were wanting to report his content. They were trying to report all of his social medias. They were organized against allowing his stuff to be up.
Dude, he just a couple weeks ago had a video coming out that came out, just 2 months ago he had one that had 12 million fucking views.
It's an incredible. That's an incredible platform for this 25-year-old guy who
that's Joe Rogan numbers.
He doesn't have a lot of life experience, and I don't know that he's even doing this in good faith. It's not a cultural documentary. It's him just goofing around with the smug grin on his face type of a thing. He doesn't come to a flat earth convention. Yeah, he doesn't show up.
Marcus and I met this guy, but because I'm personal friends with like the Crow team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a message from those guys saying, hey, and they gave a description of them. They're like, watch the fuck out. And so I looked over and I was like, and they told me to go tell Mark Devlin about it. So I went and talked to Mark Devlin, and I talked to Marcus, obviously, and we stayed out of it. We didn't talk to the guy.
No, I mean, he probably walked past you and was.
Yeah, we were definitely in his little thing, but we didn't talk to him or interact with him. We ignored him. I know I saw our table.
Yeah. Our little table in the back of the room was featured in the video. I think that was as far as we showed up in that video. But, he was kind of a shit stirrer, sort of trying to stir things up, trying to get people to react.
Remember his story? His story was that his girlfriend didn't believe in flat earth and she broke up with him because he did and all that bullshit.
Right. So his content does appeal to young people who are looking for young people to influence them. And we are a little older, a little bit wiser, a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more patient in our conversations. That doesn't strike YouTube, and it doesn't, get the hype that his type of content does. That's okay. We're running different games here. So as far as him being,
what are you doing following Santos Bonacci, Great White Pope? He ain't white.
Does he have a patch?
He's a Moor.
You doing following them?
He's a cow guy.
Oh God, have you ever seen that movie with Dennis Hopper where he talks about the Moors?
Maybe.
Blue Velvet.
Oh God, it's Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken, and we would not be able to stay on air and repeat the lines from that movie. But he's like, you know what happened with the Italians, or the Sicilians specifically, I believe it was. He's like, they were white. And then somewhere along the line, your great grandmother took her some bleep penis, and it goes on about it. It was fucking hilarious. It's a gangster movie, and Dennis Hopper's not giving up where his son is, so he's just talking shit at the guy, and he's like, "Your mom was a lover."
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep. So
Somewhere in that line, he's like, and now you're subspecies people. It's fucking hilarious. What's up, Sherry?
So that did kind of bring up the idea of masculinity
gets
in other
shot.
cultures. This
He knew he
idea
was going to
that-
get shot either way, though, because he wasn't going to give up his son. So he was going to get shot. So he was just taking a pot shot at the guy, which I appreciate.
Right?
I do. Like, I don't understand these videos of like prison camp people on their knees, like crying as they're getting shot in the back of the head. At least talk some shit. Get up and kick them in the nuts. What are they going to do? Shoot you in the head twice? Like, they're going to do the worst thing they can do to you. At least do something back. Don't just take it. Like when I was in court, when they were going to they were threatening 10 years for a freaking QP of some freaking weed. And everybody else that I watched just sat there meekly. And I got up and I made the judge so mad he turned purple in the face. 10 years was the maximum you could give me for this offense. You're already telling me you're going to do your worst. Why would I ever cooperate? That's not in my benefit. It's in yours. Like, let them do their worst. That's that fucking the Count of Monte Cristo. Do your worst, for I shall do mine.
It's a good movie.
I'm of
True
Scott
romance.
and Norman, German, French ancestry. Looking germ juicy in the mirror. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Do you
What you
have
should be
the-
mad what you should be mad at is that your German, Scott, Norse, proud, family-oriented people got talked into following a desert god of weakness.
Sure. So if we're at the part of the show where we, discuss a little bit of the dysgenics happening in culture, I want to kind of bring up this idea that there are people who have the technology to create designer babies, this type of thing. And I wonder, I would just like to see them sort of create the images of their designer humans and what they would look like, because now we're kind of back to this like beauty standards sort of question. And in a global culture of all of the cultures, and we have certain people with the technology to breed a designer baby and create it in a lab, what would that be? Would there be one designer man and one designer woman that would just rule over everybody?
Night
Or would they
Radio
have different
Stack.
models?
Thanks for coming. Oh, 100%. You know that's going to narrow down into a popular baby. What's scary is that it's not going to be one universal thing forever. It's going to be seasonal. Like I remember when suddenly being the middle-sized white guy with light hair became a popular thing in Hollywood again. Like, and it wasn't just the tall, dark, handsome guy and blah, blah. Like you absolutely know when you're the thing that you are all the time, all of a sudden is the cool thing. You're like, oh, I'm the cool thing now?
Sure. So then I guess my follow-up question is, the designer baby, is it much more disease resistant and form following function? Is the most disease resistant human going to be the most, can I say, sexually attractive to the majority of people human?
With the most perfect genetics, the most flawless genetics,
With the least susceptibility.
On some subconscious level, that would have to be the case. And Scots and Germans are pretty much the same thing. If you actually look at the reason the major cities of Scotland are all Germanic cities. That's why the original, like when Robert the Bruce was crowned king, they had to go back to Scone, not to the bigger cities, because Scone was the Scottish seat. And before there was a mixing of Germanics, all the major cities were created by a Germanic Scottish mix.
It's kind of a flatbread dessert thing.
Yeah.
A scone.
Yeah, Scone.
the food that people eat and are allergic to will also have, designs on the date opportunities dinner in a movie. Some people
And
can't
I would
process
say
cheese.
that also at some point in time, then every model of human that would come out would be disease resistant. So wouldn't they have then at that point start producing according to just completely just aesthetics?
Or would you reverse engineer a human based off of the most bioavailable nutrients so that they would have a healthy outcome? Because if you designed a baby that would require, a special feeding tube to keep them alive.
So that's Great White Pope. That is the interpretation pushed by our history system. There's actually other historical accounts, and it actually reverses that whole situation where then Egyptian is derivative of Scottish and Irish, and that's actually a derivative of that, and that's why that whole system comes around, and they just inverted it. I don't think either story's right myself. Again, if I was to take bread that's and put it in conditions that were prime for mold would appear all over the bread, all over it. Some spots bigger, some spots smaller, but it would appear all over the bread. It wouldn't appear in one spot and then from that one spot spread out. It's just not how it fucking works. And so is that when human life was and this is from an alchemist perspective, when the conditions for life appear, spontaneous generation is going to happen. It's called spontaneous generation. That means the conditions are ready for that thing is coming, and that's what's going to happen. So when the conditions of the earth became prime for human life appeared all over the place. And just like with deer, like there's deer on every continent. They don't look the same. They have a different name, and they're slightly different colorings, different markings. The same thing applies to humans. And different, the ones from the different regions are just slightly different. Bone structurings a little bit different, the facial structurings, colorations, all those kind of things. But still, at the end of the day, it's a deer's a deer, and a human's a human. We're all pretty much the same. But this is just how nature works.
Indeed. Does nature work in favor of weird men measuring their sons' erections overnight?
What the fuck? Where did this come from?
This is genetic superiority and having more erections overnight. This is the figure known as Brian Johnson, who looks like Data from Star Trek, where he was using some technology. Maybe it's like a Fitbit or something. Maybe if it fits. I don't know where he fitted it on. But he was measuring data to compare himself to his younger son.
Bourgeois is French, and it's middle-class people that don't care.
Which is Brian Johnson. He's very bourgeois. He's very elite. He's got a lot of money, and the way he's spending it is on this religion that he's crafted around Don't Die. It's sort of a book. It's sort of an idea. He's gone to brand experts. Yeah, magnesium. That's a good thing. Should I also just join the religion of Don't Die and this sort of like life extension thing?
Well, isn't that really all the religions and even the occults? Isn't that immortality the thing all of them sell in some form or another? Like, and I mean, don't get me wrong. It is a weird thought to think that if there's no afterlife and the biological exchanges that are your life quit happening and you're just gone, you're just gone. You're just no longer, you're now like an egregore at best. You know that, and then once the people who actually love and know you, unless you have fame, only through fame does your egregore keep getting fed. Like like that's a very weird concept. But does it even matter if your egregore gets fed? Like you're gone. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean that feeds the current nihilism and sort of doomerist mentality that seems to have corrupted Western thought in general.
Yeah, the
Why
YOLO
oligarchs can have nonsensical shit like effective altruism, and people go, "Oh, that sounds legit."
Yeah, that YOLO, you only live once.
It's one of my favorite James Bond movies that never got made.
But yeah, that's a disturbing thought. So I can understand how a person would be real depressed if they're nihilistic like that. That's horrible. That concept, very disturbing.
Mm-hmm. So I guess
so because of that, I think all religions are supposed to be somewhat inspiring. So immortality is kind of baked into all religions and all theologies, and that's the thing they're selling you.
So as far as Tyler, final statements on this guy who goes to India and he goes and he gets poo flung at him on video. Now he's doing blood work to see, has he been infected?
So I got pink eye. I got pink eye.
So,
pink eye in his bloodstream.
Stink eye.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't know if he had blood tests before.
Well, have you seen the food that Indian people eat?
Yep,
that was part of the thing. I think he said he was bringing his own kind of protein bars, and he was trying to fly in there, go to the festival, and get out of there, so he didn't have to spend much time with them. So he was not really even engaging with the culture.
Pink eye when the dude that did it made it with his athlete's feet and then rubbed it in his belly button and then flung it at your face.
Right.
I just wonder,
a concoction of fluids.
Did he get all of his jabs and pokes and flu shots and things before he traveled?
Like, do they really just in them outdoor markets just like wipe away the 50 flies and then hand you your piece of food that was just laden with flies?
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
The street people do.
Oofta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oofta.
Mm-hmm. If you're hungry enough.
If your immune system has been built up enough by years of going to the cow urine and poo eating festival.
Well, yeah, there's reverence for that animal and that culture.
Yeah, so instead of eating the meat, they eat its shit in order to show reverence.
And there was also some idea that would be a cure to modern ills such as cancer. This is not medical advice by any means.
How much do you want to bet the whole poo festival thing is just some misunderstood holdover from when England used to run the joint and they rounded up all the fucking peasants and made them throw poop at each other. And now, like a fucking 200 years later, they think it has a totally different meaning and a totally different significance, and they're just out there like a bunch of fucking nerds throwing shit at each other.
Like that festival in South America where it's fucking all mixed people, and at one point in time it was Confederates that moved with their slaves and to South America, and now at this point, hundreds of years later, the Confederate flag is still their flag, and they celebrate it, but it's all mixed people.
Well, I can imagine that, Americans, we have some testicle festivals and other sort of
strange things. Are you going to start drinking your pee, Great White Pope? This is a burning question for the entire panel. We will stop the show just to get your answer.
The urine therapy idea is very important.
Right.
Catch it midstream and drink it fresh.
Yeah, are you
into a-
drinking it warm yet, or are you still having to like mix it with sugar to try and like hide the pea taste, or are you like right to the fresh and warm directly from the tap? Like
little
throwing
crushed
like
ice
sugar?
over it?
Yeah, like a latte.
He makes his own pea salt and then runs it around the rim of margarita glasses when friends come over.
Oh,
Oh God. Oh God.
did you say rub it over Margarita's
I can
ass?
smell that.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. You're 100% correct. Every sip you take, too, it's just right there in the fucking full bouquet, right in the nose.
Oh, it's amazing how when pea crystallizes, how very like just the essence of pea is just like boom. Like you can walk into that, you can go put your head in an area that has that, and like 5 minutes later, it still smells like pea in your nose. You're like, I can't get it out.
Well, this is the day after Diwali or Diwali. I don't know. I'm not Indian. Not even interested in getting more details about this. It's Gora Haba. It's in one town, and I think the rest of the country is very kind of embarrassed by this one town doing this one silly thing.
Only one town does the poop festival.
As far as my limited
The rest of
research
them are
went,
like, you know what? I wash my face in their pee in the morning and I, gargle it around for a while, but I don't get ridiculous in the playing the poops. That's just too far.
right. So they're embarrassed
It's in Bharat, not India.
Well, there's some more information we could do some research on. That would be quite valuable to our discourse of figuring out globalism and has it gone too far, and do we need to return to, well, this was the argument people were starting to have, to say that this World Wide Web thing needed to be contained. So in the service of YouTube,
You know what I think it was, Marcus?
Mhm.
I think that this is just like Steve said, a slight twisting and derivative. And at one point in time, people were eating the mushrooms out of the cow patties and just playing, woo, yay! And then, they might have had some poop fights after they were real high from eating mushrooms because, they were real happy about this.
Mhm.
And now it's just turned into a general,
I
where it
think
used
so.
to be, because like reindeer drink their pee or their own pee after they've eaten fucking mushrooms and get higher. So like maybe originally that's where this whole thing was going down. You're like, oh, I want that pee. It'll get me high as shit. No,
It was just the men doing this. So in terms of masculinity, I don't think that these men were proving their masculinity and somehow impressing their wives and potential girlfriends in this sort of thing. I don't know that the women in the culture are proud of this display.
When we got a male goat, Christy didn't believe me that that he was going to pee in his own mouth and rub it all over his face and shit. And the girls, he went around chasing the girls and they didn't want nothing to do with him. And finally it struck him. He stopped and pissed all over his own face and in his own mouth. And it was like, ah! Actually, it's ah! And fucking next thing you know, the girls are nuzzling up on him. And Chris is like, what the fuck? So I thought you were making that up just to be gross.
Nope. All goats are actually Indian. Yeah. Turns out.
Yeah, beard just dripping with piss. The girls are like, oh, yeah, it's to go up and start nuzzling on him and shit. Get me some of that smell good.
Eau de toilette, pardon my parler français.
Dude, is that why it's Eau de toilet?
Ode to the toilet water. It's sensual poetry.
All them pheromones.
The flavor palette, just catch a whiff of that.
Or like you think about it, when cats, I mean, when a male cat comes over and sprays an area and puts his stinkum on it, it smells just like piss. You're like,
Yep.
you're like, oh, now I want to torpedo a cat through a window, you motherfucker.
So then, as far as the designer baby go, would they remove the sweat aspect of it?
Oh, they'll just clone Prince Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's
Would
a
you use
handful
the
of
barrel?
companies that have been working on gene editing technology for
Mm-hmm.
quite some time.
Yeah,
It's-
didn't a big company just come out saying that they cured that Down syndrome is no longer going to be a thing because they've edited it out?
There's a dude who's claiming that, yeah.
Yeah, just saw that like a week ago.
Right, which is a shame because, as Sam Tripoli has pointed out for a year or so, the Downs are rising. They are.
Yeah.
Started with Corky. He was their symbol of power.
Mm.
Anti-hydrosis or anhydrosis, inability to sweat, which would suck. You would have to be from the fucking, that'd have to be a white people disease. Could you
wouldn't be
imagine
able to
being-
regulate your own body temperature at all?
That's what I'm saying. No
Mhm.
temperature regulation. And if you'd have to be from the frozen north for that to even be a livable thing, could you imagine being in somewhere in a fucking tropical area and not being able to sweat?
You'd have to turn into Mr. Freeze.
Oh.
Walk around like a dog all day.
Make Batman goofy again.
Right.
Have some fun.
I do like the Dark Knight Batman's better. Batman was supposed to be a dark. I don't like the way they've made everything silly. Like they can't take the world, like the society cannot take the dark side of the world. And the fact is that's just part of the fucking world.
That was a nice little era in history where they were cranking out like the Netflix Daredevil series or Luke Cage, shit like that, where it was like actually grimy, you know, and way more true to the books than than anything Hollywood came up with. Sin City was good like that.
Oh, Sin City was gritty.
Yeah.
Gritty.
And the way that they shot it was really cool.
Yeah.
Where it was like live action but partially animated and fuck yeah.
And then with the color, with the muted tones, but then because it had the muted tones in areas where things were high lit, then that, put emphasis on different things through visual effects like that. That was great stuff. Gritty as fuck. Like you gotta love Bruce Willis in that. Like, come on, old man. Like I talk to my internal dialogue goes like that also. Like earlier today, I was hauling Madrone, and Madrone is crazy heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to rain tomorrow, and it's like, like 3 logs into a fucking giant pile, you're already hurt, and you're like, come on, old man. Don't whine around. Job's gotta get done.
Yup.
I also liked the newer Superman for that same reason. That's why I didn't like the 80s Superman. Like the scene where Zog is threatening Superman's mom in the newer one, where he literally loses his shit and like takes Zog's face and like uses it as a plow for like 3 miles of field. Like the 80s Superman just like, I am here to be good guy. He doesn't ever get pissed or realistic. Like, I don't care if you are super powered. Somebody hurts your mom, you're going to lose your shit.
Right?
Makes sense, yeah.
You'd hope.
Yeah.
Real
Or
emotion.
your sister or your wife or something like that. There's certain scenarios where you're expected to let that control slip and not to be the shining good guy who doesn't, take it too far with the bad guy. You know, like, nah, you're going to learn some lessons. I'm going scorched earth here. You just put hands on my mom. We're going to learn some lessons from this. And guess what? Not just you, anybody else that would ever think about doing that to my mom, you're also going to learn a lesson. I'm going scorched earth. Disproportionate consequences.
Would you like to be in a comic book?
Why is Thomas trying to make us comic book characters?
Oh, maybe. I did record an interview with him, so subscribe to the Paranoid American YouTube channel. Set your notification bell on to see that.
Go support our boy Marcus. Check out his amazing story. The root of all prostitution is making prostitution illegal. The root of all politics is making prostitution. What? You just entirely restate that.
Right.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to make
scratch that. Start over.
Trying to make a diagram. You might have to make an image.
Yeah.
Just kind of draw it out on a whiteboard.
Say it all over
Figure it
again,
out.
but with different words that make sense.
And despite the fact that I'm not for prostitution, things like that, I also wouldn't make it illegal. I think that's ridiculous. It's somebody's own choice to do with their own body. I think it should be probably socially shamed, but also not criminal. Like, that's ridiculous in my mind. That they've made that into a criminal thing. That's insane.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, it's like rental slavery.
Rental?
Yeah,
but she's
rental.
choosing to put herself in that situation, so it's not even slavery. It's just an exchange of labor and goods, and or labor in this situation. I don't understand where you think you can regulate that on it for another person. Did you really?
Well,
Oh, there it is.
do you guys remember the DOGE, the Department of something efficiency, government efficiency, who discovered that, we had some extra money set aside for a rainy day and maybe there would be a freedom dividend or something? I don't think that ever happened. I don't think Elon Musk is allowed to touch the desk anymore.
Right?
Well, I think now, as in the last few days of November 2025, there was promise of $2,000 stimulus check from the White House.
They said a dividends from the tariffs. So not a stimulus. A stimulus would be like a grant to the
Okay.
But if you listen to the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, he's telling people, oh, well, it could come in a whole bunch of different forms. Like the savings that you'll have in purchasing goods, in a post-tariff economy. Or, it might, there's people that are speculating that this will be the opt-in for your government issued stable coin and your $2,000.
Is this the start of the UBI?
No. This is just Donald Trump trying to bribe his approval numbers up a little bit higher than they are.
Well, yeah, it's going to take more than a $2,000 check. He's got this is kind of an amazing thing for me to watch. Like, both the right and the left are more disconnected from reality than I've ever seen. And the right, the head politicians are championing things that, like, the biggest anti-Semitic speakers. Don't get me wrong, the left is pro-Palestine, but the biggest anti-Semitic speakers are all right-wing. All right-wing.
Yeah.
Like absolutely anti-Israel lobby, the whole nine. That's all heavy
Well,
right wing.
it's dividing that sort of population where many of them are in favor of the state of Israel, and they go to an evangelical church and understanding Zionism and end time prophecies, and then there's another half of them that are like, that was really weird. I hate that, so they are opposed to that. So it's sort of splitting that group think in half, dividing and maybe conquering in that way. And as far as the UBI, I heard something about instead of a universal basic income, there would be a universal high income for what the high bar is set at.
Yeah.
Is that
It's fucking insane.
Is that like the retirement thing where it's like over your lifetime, the amount of money you've made, that's going to be your high bar, and then you're going to get that universally somehow?
Nope. No.
It means that you can only make a maximum amount.
They're just talking out of their ass.
Yeah.
They're just, complete and total hooey. Nonsense, balderdash, not balderson, balderdash, poppycock even.
Mm-hmm.
Horse feathers. That's what it is. It's a pile of horse feathers. Because look, what are you going to do? Okay, everyone's suddenly a millionaire. All right, well, now your rent is $635,000 a month.
So was this in connection to the 50-year mortgage that would be offered?
No, not in connection with. It's just yet another trial balloon to see if everyone's ready for permanent debt slavery yet. 50-year mortgage.
The thing that you need, okay, so we're going to talk about all that now too, 100%. The thing you need, the era that this needs compared to, and if you want to look at the proceedings politically, is the New Deal with Roosevelt. Right. The New Deal era with Roosevelt, where the precursors to all the things that we would call our socialist programs today, our social programs like Social Security, all that shit, those were all written and they weren't voted on, they weren't ran through the Senate or the House, they were all done through executive orders. Roosevelt wrote almost 4,000 executive orders, and all of that was the precursors to the system that we see now. And so when you're looking at the way things are operating during this time frame, really the thing that you could compare it to is when the New Deal went down. And so you have to look at the way the politics of that era, the way they operated. And this one is operating in just the same fashion, only it's not as a unified front where Roosevelt was really heavily loved, including Roosevelt was the only president to serve that third term. And the law was made post Roosevelt where you couldn't do that anymore. And here we are talking all kinds of people, even though it would take a 2/3 majority in order to make congressionally, in order to allow Trump to run a third term, where they would have to write that out of Congress, which has happened. We've had things removed from the Bill of Rights that we said, no, that wasn't such a great idea. What was it? The 18th and the 21st? The 18th was written out by the 21st, I think. But the two things are paralleling. They're operating in the same fashion. The 50-year mortgage is absolutely insane. The average male lifespan is what, like 72? So you'd have to be 20 to even fucking pay that fucking thing off.
Yeah. And just to that point too, Trump is currently 79. If they're going to try to do something retarded like third term, be 82 years old going into office.
Oofta.
Into that's nonsensical.
No, I don't think either party has a particularly standout strong candidate at this point. I think this election is going to be a complete shit shoot. I think we're going to see a much longer election cycle than what we've even been seeing, and they've been crazy. Like literally since before this last election, before Trump won this last time, AOC and Bernie have been out on the campaign trail for the next election cycle. Like they're going to have been campaigning for 5 years for her to show up as a candidate on this one. And she's going to be fighting Newsom, and Kamala's out there thinking about it.
Are they still lootering the middle class?
Are you talking about Redacted tonight? I have not watched that show in
It's been a while.
7 years.
There's a Fox News dude named Clayton Morris who has a show called Redacted. And he's like, him and his Velma looking wife or whatever ripped off a whole bunch of people in a real estate scam and fled the country and went to Portugal. And then they started their We're Serious Conspiracy Journalists podcast.
Dude,
and then
why-
they've since like settled the fucking lawsuits and shit like that, so they've moved back to the US. But yeah, I mean, just a fucking just total piece of shit. And it wasn't like he was suckering rich people on some development scheme. He was robbing like his Fox News viewers in Rust Belt America for their fucking retirement funds and shit. Yeah. Like gross shit.
It's horrible because I'm not about laws. I'm not an anarchist. I believe probably more grown up than that. But and the same token, I'm also a very minimalist with it. And because you just can't, communities don't survive without leaders. The idea, I love the idea of a group of highly enlightened people that are all self-sufficient and all capable of coming together as a community. It's just not how it works. Like, it's one of those things where I got to look at reality and how it is, and I had to measure that against what I wanted it to be. And it's just how it is. Now, is the leader more important? No, that's just his position. And honestly, a good leader is as much in debt and is more of a servant than the community are to him, because he's got to make everybody in the fucking community happy. Like he's out looking for the welfare of everybody. And so, what the fuck did this start with? Damn, I'm not stoned.
I know where it goes. It goes back to our report on Camp Mystic on the Guadalupe River. And
that was where it was going.
Mm-hmm. So now there's some lawsuits due to the losses of family members and trying
Was that
to.
the one with the little girls in Texas?
Yeah. So it was in 100-year floodplain, and they had cabins at a campground where these 8-9-year-old girls were in a cabin, and they were told to stay in their cabin because it was in the middle of the night and there was a lot of rain. The owner of the camp, whose name is Dick, that's his name, and Willetta
just the
Tweedy
first
Eastland.
name though, like Prince or Cher.
Just Dick.
No last name at all.
It's not even actually the word. It's just a phallic shape. It's just a
Right.
penis drawing. It's just the symbol.
Right.
It's
Right. No,
just-
and it's not even that. It's just because it's Camp Mystic. He's Mystic Dick. He doesn't even have a last name.
He is the leader. He is the masculine figurehead of this campground, and these young girls were entrusted to him and his.
Mystic Dick's
campground.
reservation for young girls.
I got a daughter that needs to get some Mystic Dick.
She's not done yet. She needs to finish. Is your camp for wayward girls a finishing school?
Well, it is known as Flood Alley.
Not quite done yet. Can we send her to you?
Mhm.
Those
Mystic
were
Dick?
some wet ass pussies.
Right.
Well, that
Right.
one
Do
was
they
fun.
need to be in the floodplain for the wet ass pussy, or is this going to happen naturally?
Boy, that one's rough. That's some rough shit right there.
Right.
We
Some
need to
rough
censor
terrain.
ourselves after that one.
There's a lawyer who's defending the campground pro bono, saying the facts here demonstrate that this is one of those occasions where no one is to
I bet you
blame.
it's not fucking Shapiro.
Right. Calling it an act of God in July 5th of 2025.
So Dick's got a pro bono.
Indeed. Yeah.
Handy.
Well
Mhm.
done, sir. Oh, with the cherry on top.
There you go.
They had never had a flood that bad before. So basically, their emergency plan only worked if there was, in fact, not an emergency. That's kind of what they're.
I mean, how do you
Don't-
even say that they've never had a flood that bad before when it's 100-year floodplain? Like, how do you know
1937.
what it was like 200 years ago? Like,
I mean, they did have people that wrote shit down, even in Texas.
yeah, but
It's bound to be a
did we-
scribbler
when
or
did we
two.
even fucking start fucking settling Texas? What were they over fucking talking to the natives about it?
I mean, 100 years ago, it was
When was the
1924,
Louisiana Purchase? When was the fucking Louisiana Purchase?
like 1820 something. California was a state in 1850.
Yeah, but we didn't. But it started in the East Coast and then jumped to the West Coast, and the middle got filled in. Like South Dakota is one of the last states to become a state.
That's because it was the US president and the Canadian prime minister going, I don't want it, you take it. No, man, I don't want it, you take it.
Texas didn't even become a state till 1845.
Well, so when you're in
Yeah,
this.
and 100 years ago, or 100 years from the flood was 1924. Texas had been a state for nearly a century at that point.
Right. So I'm just saying, when you're talking about 100-year floodplain, you've got what, one, maybe two floods to track. Like this is the biggest it's ever been. How do you know what it was like 400 years ago?
I mean,
Why
they got
don't you have
people that
Texas
look at
go
like
away?
soil and fucking, waterline records and table records and shit like that just naturally occur. You can go look at freaking old ass buildings or big ass trees and shit like that and see where the high water mark is, how often it hits there.
What trees? What trees? It's a goddamn desert down there.
They got trees.
1836, it was Mexican.
I mean, most of it still is.
So, these girls were told to stay in their cabin and, keep the door closed.
That's 2 weeks in a row that Marcus is on target.
Keep the windows closed and, caulk the place up, seal it up. You float down the river. It'd be like Noah's Ark.
Is that what they were told?
Well, that's what they were told to stay in their cabin. Now, I don't know if they were properly taught how to caulk the cabin to prevent leaks.
It's a shame the cabins weren't made out of.
Down at Dick's?
I don't think they had played Oregon Trail to know the importance of caulking your wagon so you can ford the river.
Oh, are you saying those little girls died of chlamydia?
No, lack of caulk, I think, is what he was suggesting.
Who would have known that you'd have lack of cock at Dick's?
Right?
Mystic Dick's.
Not a common occurrence, but yeah.
Needed to keep it sealed up real tight, and they'd be fine. They wouldn't get wet.
It's a shame the cabins weren't made out of gopher bark.
Well, part of the problem, I think Wyoming came in because they were right on top of Montana. Montana became a state before most of the Midwest. And the Dakota Territory was particularly troublesome because they didn't know how to split it either. And the Sioux, what they called the Sioux or the Lakota, hardcore fights with them. And there's nothing of value in the Dakotas except for the Black Hills, which once again they originally were wanting to. It should have been split East Dakota and West Dakota by geography, but Yankton had more political power than Bismarck, and so they ended up taking it into North and South Dakota. So South Dakota maintained most of the gold-bearing Black Hills.
And now it's pretty much all been mined out, right?
No, they shut the mines over fights with the natives because the government broke a treaty like they've done, like, what is it, like 600 times or something recorded.
666 times.
The Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills was supposed to revert back to native hands like sometime in the late 1900s, I think. And of course, the government said no. And then the big rumor was that the natives only wanted it back so they could get the gold mines back, and it was all financial derivative. And so then the government went and flooded the gold mines. Ain't nobody got no gold now. And now the actual money in the Dakota situation is in North Dakota because they have the fracking mines up in North Dakota where they're fracking for oil and natural gas and shit. And those are real big up in the Minot area.
And the
That's,
Lakota can build
expletive
casinos, but they haven't figured out how to build a really, really, really big shop vac.
Really, really, really big shop vac.
Yeah. Get the water out of the gold mines.
Oh, a sup pump.
Big sump pump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big sump pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the big mine there. The Homestake mine. The Homestake mine is the big one.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
I believe you.
I think at one point in time, Kevin Costner was, before that happened, Kevin Costner and his brother were going to build a casino out there. It was during the era when he made Dances with Wolves and all that shit.
Oh, and he thought he was an Indian?
Yeah. Yeah.
He went full method with it and was like, I must build a casino.
Yeah, literally was going to build a casino out there with his brother.
Roger.
The indigenous Kevin Costner presents.
And he's like, Kevin, you don't talk like that. He's like, Roger, we must go to the Dakotas. Kevin, you got to knock that off, dude. The movies, you were done filming 6 months ago. We need to go now. Yeah. Yeah.
I have scouted trail.
It's the I-90.
Oh, fuck.
You know.
That's fucking great. But yeah, that shit didn't go well for Costner. And then he got into westerns. I do like Costner's most of that new one that he made. That sucks. That sucks bad.
Man, I have not seen a movie with Kevin Costner in it in a very long time.
Dude, the Sackett's and the McCoys, fantastic. Fantastic.
All right.
Like it's they did it in that old school miniseries style. Oh, is it so good?
All right.
It's got it's not new. It's still, because I mean it's old enough. It's got what's his name that died, Pullman, Bill Pullman in it.
Oh, okay.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Bill.
Yeah, and he plays I can't remember which one's Sackett and which one's Hatfield, but they're the two leaders of the families, and it is just a super well done little mini series. really enjoyable to watch. I think you'd like it a lot, Steve.
Give it a
Think you-
shot, man.
Do you
For
think
sure.
I would enjoy it?
Maybe.
There are some no
You're-
words in
you're-
there.
It's hard to get a grasp on what you would enjoy. You are the most eclectic person I've ever known. Like you somehow know very folkish, old school shit, and then at the same time will spit out fucking some dumb gamer shit and some internet nerd shit, and then sit there and explain to me about who sings "Wet Ass Pussy" and shit like that. So
That's because he's a student of Ben Shapiro.
yeah,
The Daily Wire keeps
I,
me
just-
wired.
I would love to have somebody just randomly filming, pulling up next to freaking good old Marcus here in his car, blasting Cardi B like fucking homeboy in Office Space.
dude, Marcus is like turning the volume.
You probably hear older
He's all
stuff.
shoulder dancing in there. Bucket and a mop.
I don't know how the song goes, or else I would-
Janitorially speaking, bucket and a mop. Thanks to Tim Timoney, who sent me a janitor video that was very funny. To maybe share that on social media somewhere.
I know I could get away with playing this, Ben. I know I can. All right. And dude, by the time it's been on Instagram for like 3 years, I don't think we're gonna get copyright struck for the NASCAR dude. I really don't.
Just stop it like every 10 seconds, and then we just need to talk for a second, and then you can do it again. It's got to be you need to have made a meaningful alteration to the video, or else you're just restreaming somebody's shit. Is the way it was told to me.
That is the agreement.
This is commentary. I mean, it is. It's, you know.
And it's called the the Hatfields and the McCoys are
How
just
the
about
shit
called the
does-
Sackett.
How does that work with all of the freaking commentary channels that play like 10, 15 minutes of a podcast and then talk about it for 3 minutes?
It's you're not supposed to do that. That is actually copyright strikeable. It's you are supposed to stop it like very regularly and then throw in comments or alter it, like do some video editing where you've altered it and either taken things out, added it. It can't be a direct stream for stream.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are like 48-second clips. Just this is why we're holding a Bitcoin auction for AlanMarcus.com here, because the alternative is him facing a world where this happens in a now digital version. This is the 80s version of the dating app.
You should date me because I'm so far out of your league. You would be lucky to date me.
We're still experiencing the same thing right now. Yeah. And that not the hairstyles change, the clothes change. You know.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth. Call me Beth only. What kind of man am I looking for? I really don't know. Hopefully a good one. I have never been in love with anybody before.
Before we
Except for herself.
Not even her parents.
Okay, you win a prize.
Don't even love my parents.
You win a prize. Yeah.
She an anti-natalist.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Or any of my siblings. But every guy I've ever
Or any of her
has been madly
siblings.
in love with me.
Jesus.
Yes, but every guy she's ever dated has been wildly in love with her.
And you will be in love with me too. My dream first date is go to a restaurant, get me drunk. You could see if you could keep up.
Keep up with
You
the
could
drinking.
see if you, yeah.
Okay.
She
Okay.
just dared television to try to drink her under the table. She just dared TV land.
Not
The-
only can you tell this is the mid to late 90s because it says VHS dates, but
Oh, yeah.
also her hair is absolutely horrifying. Like
Yeah.
it's not the 80s back when Aquanet was still a thing, and it was like they make that shit into Flock of Seagulls craziness all over. How high can they get their bangs? It's just like this like dead laid over thing over the side of her head. Like not good.
Yeah,
It's not-
well, by the late 90s, Ben, there was already into DVD land.
Right.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
definitely like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's not like straight up with the bangs, but yeah. It's-
It's like they did just like a month before this video was made, they found out that Aquanet was entirely responsible for the holes in the ozone. Like, and now her hair's just dead. It doesn't know what to do anymore. It's just like,
There's still some
I
volume
do
in
smoke cigarettes, yeah, but I don't care if you smoke cigarettes. The key to a good relationship with me is giving me space. I have a lot of pet peeves, but my biggest one is leaving wet towels on the ground. I don't believe in soulmates. I don't really think all people have souls. I like guys who are scared of me.
it.
Let's have fun.
She's talking about gingers.
So, are these like the back pages of the old Craigslist? Is that what this is? And
No,
is
man,
dating,
no,
is
they're-
dating a euphemism?
No, there were
Like pay to play with her?
buddy. It's not just the ladies. It's not.
Oh,
Oh, look at this sexy gent. Where's the sound? We have got to
See-
hear
see
Yeah.
him
that-
tutor
what
us?
this guy is throwing
We-
down.
We
Is he
gotta
tutor?
run. We gotta run this, but yeah, you have to hear his opening. You have to.
Okay. Is it the Queen's Gambit? Still not hearing him. Reading the body language though. Pretty confident.
Oh, fucking StreamYard killed the volume. Ugh, bummer. All right.
I was kind of scared of her.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
a scary broad.
I mean, she wasn't attractive enough to be really scary. It's the ones that are like super hot, typically a redhead, and like very skinny and horribly attractive with like the most shit in their eye. Like you look in their eye and they got this sparkle that says, "I'm going to steal your soul."
All right, let's see this champion.
Hello, dear ladies, young girls, not below 18, of course. If I would want,
Of course.
Because we are on television.
Did he invent the bagel?
I love how the top comment is he looks like if John Goodman and Danny DeVito had a baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
people, I'm sorry, ladies older than 40, I could have it without divorce my previous 4 wives. I'm gonna pamper you when we're gonna meet first time. But you have to be gentle, sweet, nothing vulgar. Give me real, genuine, modest, wonderful, intimate.
Just twist the tip and punch the head. Just twist the tip and punch the head.
Does he collect Jordache jeans?
I think he owns
What's-
the brand. I think he
Okay.
does. I think it's
Okay.
his company.
Because there's a sense of fashion about him.
Hmm.
He's kind of a dresser.
He's whimsical.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I have never been that stylish. I certainly was not that stylish in the mid 80s. early 90s.
Look at that collar, man.
You know, I think it's just with the kind of money he has.
That is like Count Chocula sharp.
Right? And just massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Small wings.
Is he wearing a short sleeve shirt under that blazer? So if he were to take it off, he'd be ready to sweat and dance on the floor?
Maybe. Could
Hmm.
be. It could be. It could be a bowling shirt with a butterfly collar.
Hmm.
He's like, I disco and I sell bagels.
Also weapons.
And I own a porn site.
You want Kalishnikov? You want everything bagel with cream cheese? How about some girls? I know this is dating site, but it's for me. For me, if you want girls, I get you girls.
Is he the father of the
Oh,
previous
Yuri
woman we just saw?
knows.
Is this just like a family affair? They all just made these dating tapes to sell, but they needed to seed it with ideas before other people would participate.
No, this is there were a whole bunch of like back in the 80s there were a whole bunch of like mail order sites where you would send in your tape and then they would send you, because you signed up for the service, a bunch of tapes of a tape of all of the locals in your area.
Right.
And they just put together, you know, if there's, you know, you live in fucking Boston, they'll send you a VHS tape or two that has all of these like minute little snippets, and then you write back to them or you
Right.
call their, you know, non-toll free number,
Right.
and you're
But-
like, hey, number 473, Scary Beth.
Mhm.
What's up with Scary Beth? I want to talk to Scary Beth again.
I like the way that she said she's never loved anybody, but she's sure I'll love her. I
Yeah.
feel like she's gonna abuse me properly.
Right. I like how she said she smokes on the videotape, because my mom always told me that meant that they were loose girls.
Yeah, if she smokes, she pokes.
Yep.
What does she smoke? Cloves?
Oh yeah, Beth smokes clove cigarettes.
Okay.
She does.
All right.
100%. 100%.
Hmm.
And when she can't get them, she's really, really, really pissed. And so she smokes Luckies.
Oh.
Yeah. When the one store in town is out of cloves.
He's
This
showing you
tells
what he's showing you why all this shit he's saying is worth it.
Right.
Like, the schlong.
He's
I'm
reminding
asking a
me-
lot, but the schlong.
It's like a $5 foot long. He's reminding me of that guy who threw a sandwich at some guy in DC. I think they finally settled that score, trying to close up all the loose ends of all the things we talked about this summer.
You need to make me a nice cake for the morning, but in the evening,
Now, this may seem problematic, but I am hung like Baba's leg kicking a grapefruit.
you won't walk right for a week. You won't want to leave house.
I will crack 2 of your ribs first time we make the intercourse. I'm not bragging. I have put many women in hospital.
4 wives. They did not die in birth. They died in conception.
Designer babies.
My second wife was my favorite. She's the one I always miss.
So he has 4
Middle
wives.
of roadhead, we hit a bump.
4 wives in 4 different countries at the same time.
Yeah,
No
he would,
divorce.
dude. Anybody with a collar that looks like that, anybody with a shirt that looks like that, that's poking out of that jacket had 4 wives at the same time in different locations. Was traveling salesman. Yeah. Salary wife business in Dayton, Ohio.
Holy Toledo. I think that's where that one ship is based off of. The Edmund Fitzgerald, was it?
Was it? I don't know. It's been a long time since I heard the song.
I try not to listen to it, but it was the 50th anniversary of the event, so we were
Right.
having to discuss it on the social medias.
I'm glad this guy saved some pussy for the rest of us. That's all.
You know, it was generous of him. It was. I'll tell you who the real pussy crusher was, though. Was this fella. Now, some of you may see this guy and go, he looks slightly familiar.
Oh,
Sir, my name is London. I'm here to find my soulmate. At this point, I'm thinking just about anyone would be just fine. Anybody that can spend the time with me is somebody worth spending time with.
so
No.
he's got those
If
sleeves
your
that are.
standards are so low that you will associate and sit next to me, you are the girl for me.
You are my soulmate.
Those sort of billowy sleeves are kind of poetic, kind of romantic in a way.
I like this one piece of hair right here that you're not 100% sure is this wild beard or is this hair that's gotten too far forward.
Right. No, yeah. London seems like the type of dude who would suggest that you go rollerblading on your date, and while you're rollerblading, he brings along an actual easel and sketches your portrait in charcoal while rollerblading.
Inline skates. Did he
I'm pretty
invent the
sure he's the
rollerblade?
dad of that guy that's on Kill Tony.
William
Pretty
Montgomery. That's what somebody said in the Blunt Force chat the other night too. Yeah. Last night.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty
He
sure
says
that's
he's got Memphis Strangler vibes for sure. He does.
Rocky Top, Tennessee.
No,
God,
I
that guy's an
don't.
irritating son of a bitch.
I don't see color. So tell me, is this gentleman named London redhead?
No, it's mostly shiny. You can't. That's why you can't see it. It's very. There's
Just-
a hard reflection coming off that area where there was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, it's in Auburn.
Auburn. Okay.
Yeah. Less carrot. Less carrot, more Nana sweater.
More stick.
I'm not bald all the way back. I'm only bald to about my hairline's right about here.
Is Auburn a season in his life?
What's that? Yeah, there's definitely a circle back there. At some point in time, it might connect, but I'm fucking over 50. So this guy's 22.
London here is like the intersection of Friar Tuck and ZZ Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of
Yeah,
shoes
that
is
is
he wearing?
description.
Do you think is he wearing leather?
It's 19.
shoes?
Okay, let's say it's 1988. He is
Mhm.
wearing. He's wearing Ruse. He's wearing the Walter Payton Kangaroos.
Look at how big his collar is. Also, he doesn't have it laid out, but look at how fucking tall that thing is. It's like damn near it's like half the length of his beard.
Yeah.
Like, that is just a giant collar.
Let's hear a little
Like,
bit
how
more from
long is
London,
that guy's
and then
neck?
I gotta bounce out. But let's hear a little bit more from London.
I have several pastimes. I enjoy nightlife. I enjoy the club scene. I love dancing.
Mm-hmm. That's
London-
a
Oh, I
box.
bet that guy cuts a rug.
London is up in the club.
You know, men used to wear blouses, and they were fancy.
You didn't know that he's got the boots with the fur.
Hmm.
He hit the flow. Next thing you know,
I love how that song is about a midget. Midget baddie.
He traps his own beaver.
I will drop a link in the Telegram group tonight or tomorrow from a band called the Cleverleys, and they do bluegrass versions of all kinds of songs, including that song.
that's hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny. It
Dude, I'm
is.
telling you, take a little trip. That's what I said. That's William Montgomery's dad.
Yeah.
Because this video is from the 80s or early 90s.
Yes. I'm big on dancing. It's a great way to meet people. I have a unique culinary gift in which I am capable of creating delicious meals on a shoestring budget. So the perfect first date would involve a beach.
And a prison pizza at my house.
What we do on the beach is
Is he talking about?
You'd be shocked what I can do with some ramen and squeezed cheese and a packet of chili.
We eating good tonight, girl.
on the beach with a picnic basket.
Right.
He's is he one of those freegans where he would find food that people were throwing
I
out?
stole a couple of Sterno cans from work. We could dig a tin can out the trash, have a nice little fire.
Do you
Very
know that if you use
resourceful.
salt water to make your ramen, you don't even need the seasoning packet?
Right.
Oh, all the tears you cry.
is rather unimportant because it is the beach and there is fun to be had there regardless of activity. And so I might take my date to the pier. We may stroll upon the pier and enjoy a soft pretzel.
I like to use the soft pretzel to draw in the seals, and then the seals will nuzzle in my beard. And it is very romantic.
I will then remove from my beard 2 golden chalices.
I think his lovemaking style is described as soft pretzel.
Baby, can I give you the soft pretzel? It's like, God, not again. You've been pushing soft pretzel for 3 years, London. Just
Can't you
one.
get some damn boner pills at a truck stop or something, man?
Right. Get a honey pack, London. Damn. Have some fucking respect. Soft pretzel is her new password now. That's fair.
Yeah, that it's no longer called push and rope. It's now the soft pretzel.
Pushing rope. Pinch it off. This is a stream too long.
I got one more. One more.
It's a phantom.
This this is the final boss. Come here, volume.
What I want to
2.
know is if are these people still single?
Yeah.
Obviously, that one's not. He has produced a child that does bad comedy.
London. I was gonna say, London has a half black son, a half Puerto Rican son, 3 half white children. Because
He
that
never
dude's
did figure out
100%
that you
Indian.
should use a condom with hookers.
Final boss.
Oh wow.
An M80 firecracker with generous hips.
Generous hips.
Ooh.
generous. She's an M80 with
Mhm.
generous hips.
You needed to tell
What's
me to
shaking?
strap myself in for this one, Steve. Fuck.
I told you it was the final boss. I did multiple times.
Tina Terranova. I don't know about love at first sight. I mean, come on. Can we be realistic here? I'm not going to settle. Look around. Everybody settled. My best quality is my unwavering allegiance to myself.
Huh.
I totally thought she was going to say something like the Legion of Doom. I really did. I don't know why. Like my unwavering loyalty to the Third Reich. Like I you know, something crazy was about to come
My
out of her
best
mouth.
quality is my unwavering loyalty to my Dark Lord Cthulhu.
Yeah, something.
She does morning affirmations, something along the lines of money is sexually attracted to me.
That is an interesting shades of lipstick and eyeshadow. And I mean, it's definitely late 80s where they just make just a block of eye, like this whole area above their eye, underneath their eyebrow, all the way to their eyelashes is just one giant glob of color.
She's a 49er. 4 thinks she's a 9. That is excellent work there, Great White Pope.
And is also 49.
This chick is what Tanya Harding saw when she looked in the mirror. She was like, Tanya, you's a bad bitch.
She produces her
I know
own
who I am.
testosterone.
If you don't or you can't figure it out, I'm not a great sleeper. I do a lot of horse kicks in the night, so you're going to have to be patient. Other than that, I'm friggin' great. Have I ever been in love? Sure. Sure. You get another fucking question there, question guy? Is that what you're just going to sit here and ask me questions?
She's like Katie Porter getting interviewed.
Straight up what I was just thinking, dude. I was literally waiting for you to stop, and I was going to say that. I don't know how you pass up on all that personality and
Do you like
she
some of your Thunderback?
Who is Katie Porter? Final Jeopardy.
Is this for the audience?
For the audience,
folks
who
at
is
home?
Katie Porter? I know there's some folks in chat.
all this personality, and she horse kicks at night.
Horse
God,
kicks in the night.
Okay, what else we got?
I don't like when guys are too talkity with a waitress. I find it revolting. Don't call.
Asking them what the special of the day is, you know, whether the soup's any good. What's with all the words? Words.
Honey.
Oh yeah, don't call her honey.
Talkity.
Don't call her honey.
Don't talk to waitresses around her.
Right, don't. Just let
point
her
at
order
the menu,
everything. Yeah.
order the soft pretzel, and be done with it.
Right. She's gonna be like, he's with me, bitch. He doesn't need food. He doesn't need anything. He's got me.
Like a human being. I don't like it if you want things from me. Period. Do I believe in God? I mean, if this is the kind of conversation I'm going to have on a date, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to excuse myself to go to the loo. I'm going to sneak out the back door of the restaurant, and I'm going to hitchhike to a water park. I don't want to talk about God with anybody.
Water sports?
She's going to hitchhike to a water park.
And do what there?
I don't know.
Mystery. That's not a puzzle to solve. That's a
What
mystery.
time? If you're hitchhiking to the nearest water park and you're at a dinner date, how late do you expect the water park to be open?
Does she
If your
want to
name
go to
begins
Wisconsin
Tina.
Dells?
Of course you're a Tina.
Or is there a
That's why I
water
didn't have
park in
kids.
New Jersey?
It's why I didn't have kids, she says.
You know, she's going to be the very loving mother type that takes care of you and makes sure that your needs are met. She won't be selfish at all.
What kind of dog does she have? One dog, two dogs?
Absolutely, that chick never had a pet.
No
Never
pets.
had a pet. She would have to care about something besides herself.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't even have like the freaking accessory pet.
Yeah.
Although she briefly entertained getting a purse chihuahua during the early Paris Hilton years.
Yeah. But then she found out it has to be fed every day.
And she couldn't just sew its asshole shut so it didn't shit anywhere.
What kind of business is she the founder of and owner of?
She had her own line of Virginia Slims flavored edible panties. It did not do well. It did not do well. And now she is a trainer for blackjack dealers.
So she was in the pleasure products business.
Yes.
I feel like she, in her spare time, buys things at garage sales and repaints them and tells you how much effort she put into upcycling these items, and now they're worth 100 times more than what they were originally.
Yeah. She also got arrested for trying to force her way onto Rick Springfield's tour bus.
She actually almost made it on, but her hair fucking couldn't quite get through that doorway.
The bus driver was like, "No, you're old," and he tackled her out of the threshold of the bus. He broke a couple of ribs and had a banged up elbow. She hit her. She landed head first, and her hair protected her from any injury that may have occurred otherwise.
She is a member of Hair Club for Men.
Fact that women did not have to wear helmets until after Aquanet was banned.
Right.
This person works for Central Casting.
You know, the weird part is I think these people do actually exist. Like at any time that I feel like I'm socially inept, you know, you do things like go out and go around other people. And you're like, wow, are you fuckers weird?
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I get a dip.
I think Marcus was saying that that's about enough for the stream anyways.
Okay. Pinch it
So
off
we
and
will,
save some for...
We will get a debate lined up. We will get some stuff going on. I've been over and going quite a bit to, obviously, anybody that's watching on my channel sees that I've been going over to Sarah Tomatoes quite a bit and trying to help out over there and then restreaming it over onto mine, which then helps us.
Is there a save the
Katie
date?
Porter was the lead candidate for the California gubernatorial race. She is now in last place after some well-placed well-done interviews. Bye-byes! After some well-done interviews, she is now in last place behind Republicans in California, which is kind of amazing to do. It's like it's almost like a woman losing custody of her kids in the Midwest. Like, how the fuck did that happen? Were you doing heroin at the hearing? Hey, you know, it's, and so yeah, she's horrible. But we've been doing some debates. I'll nag Steven to getting into some more too. And we'll get back on getting some guests on. I'll go back to getting some guests on. Steve will never get a guest on. And that will be the joke for the whole rest of the show.
Are we saving a date for November 29th? Is that a Saturday? Just write it on your calendar.
I mean, you know, we'll have a location determined by the end of the week. Just get in the AM Wake Up Telegram group if you're like Bay Area local.
Okay.
We make it for a hang.
Knock it off!
You tell him.
Bubba's irritating Freya's.
All right, y'all.
He's
Well,
got vinegar. Love you guys.
We will see you next week.
Next Tuesday.
Yep. See you next Tuesday.
And I'll
Later.
probably get a surprise drop in on a panel somewhere this week. So
Take
keep
care,
your eye out.
everybody.